What's up? What's up? Welcome to another class of how to knock the credit bureaus out. I'm just playing. But today we got a special guest, super special guest. As you saw in the email, I'm playing. We got Dominique Brown basically going to teach you some things, some secrets on how to knock the credit bureaus out. All right, Mike.
All right, yeah. So as you guys know, hold on, I'm gonna bring all three of us up. When Dominique started talking, we can. Hold on. All right. So as you guys know, we always say you guys are getting results back. So what does results look like? Results look like that little letter from the credit bureau saying that yeah, it looked like you're using a tool, or a result is, hey, it looks like somebody else is doing your disputes. And results can other result also can be no response. So in the comments and like you guys too, you guys are asking questions. What should I do next? And then our response is kind of the same. It probably gonna go something like this. Oh, dispute Panda can handle that. So drop a 7 in the chat if you heard me or Dave say that at least once or twice or maybe 3 times when you guys have y'all questions. And the reason why we say Dispute Panda can handle it is because Dispute Panda is like, I used to call Dispute Panda Mini Dave. Like, because Dave used to go on and be like, hey, 15 USC 1681I 5236. And I'm like, dude, that's a lot. So we had to get somebody very special to come on here, the chief marketing officer of Dispute Panda, because although we keep saying it, you guys don't know, and we just want to bring an expert in so you guys can get the results you want. Dave, anything else before we bring Dominique up? Well, all right, Dominique. I ain't want to introduce you because I know I'm gonna mess it up. I know you got like titles over titles. I see that big X in the background. Ooh, that thing clean.
Some like
so like yeah, so I'm
some
gonna
like
bring you up and because I think a lot of people get discouraged because they want an 800 credit score, but every letter that comes back from the credit bureaus is a result, and Dispute Panda has every solution to their problem. So I want to bring you up so you can talk about it.
yeah. So I think you did a great job in explaining that. One thing that you can't stop. So Dispute Panda does Metro, it does factual, it does consumer law, it does all the forms of disputing, right? So you have all the tools in your arsenal to assist you getting the job done. But one thing we can't stop the credit bureaus from violating our rights. So when you send something into the credit bureaus, if you sent a proper ID, driver's license that's updated, a utility bill that's less than 90 days old with a matching name and a matching address and the SSN, and you sent in your dispute, the credit bureaus per FCRA section 611 USC 1681L, I believe, they have 30 days to respond to the disputed inaccuracy. Unfortunately, they're behind. Sometimes they don't respond in 30 days. So you need to know what to do next, right? Or if they do respond, they say, hey, this has been verified. What do you do next? Hey, this has been updated. What do you do next? Hey, something was deleted, but we put it back on your profile and they didn't notify you. What do you do next? So all those things, you got to think of it like boxing. You throw out a jab there for round one, they're going to respond. What is the response? And then that dictates your follow-up response.
Oh man, I couldn't say it better myself. I talk a little ghetto when I say it. I say something like, "Hey, my mama said if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back." So yeah, when I first got into Dispute Panda, I was like, "This thing is literally fighting the credit bureaus for me." I noticed when we first started fixing credit, me and Dave was looking at the codes, looking at everything, and then we had to decipher which one we use and when we use it. So with Dispute Panda, do you have some type of sequence or flow that people can follow to make it more, make it easier for them?
Yeah, so we have an attack guide for you to let you know which letter to send. Am I able to share my screen here? So let me see if I can share my screen. And let me know if you can see that. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
All right, it popped up below. I'm not sure how to get it to pop up above. Maybe you can do that for me, but
Got you.
all right, bet. So if you go to matter of fact, if you're inside your Dispute Panda account and you hit this training tab here to the left,
Mhm.
it'll take you here and it gives you an attack guide that breaks down everything what you should do. So you have 4 different attack flows. You have black, you have white, you have blue, and you have red. A lot of people use the red. So if you're using this particular attack guide, it tells you what to do for your first 12 rounds and which letter to send. So a pinwheel attack is including pretty much everything on one letter, except for once you get over 7 accounts, it creates another letter and 10 inquiries. A round kick separates your personal information from your public records, from your inquiries, from your accounts. And the reason why you want to do that is the credit bureaus must respond to each dispute of each account within 30 days. So if you got a lot of negative items, yes, you can put that all on one letter, but from a postage standpoint, sometimes it makes sense for you to separate it out, or if you want to catch the credit bureaus inside an information-based dispute. Now, a premium letter is a regular letter is a plain Jane letter. There's no Metro 2 logic on top of it. So I want you to think of Dispute Panda as a automated AI attack engine that uses Metro 2 consumer law and factual disputing. And then your types of attack, your variation shows a different look and feel to the credit bureaus, right? So a regular attack is a plain Jane letter. There's no Metro 2 coding on top of it. A premium attack is like the regular attack, but it has like a green, yellow highlight over it that targets a specific item. A supreme attack is your Metro 2 coding on top. You'll see like the base sector fields for each account. And then a supreme boosted is the Metro 2 coding as well as additional attack vectors below it. And then we also introduce handwritten letters because, once again, the bureaus are using AI as well. So we provide you different looks and feels of your letters, and we provide you different verbiage. So if you look at any attack with inside of Dispute Panda, the verbiage always changes, and it's never a template. It's never the same. Like you might download somebody's PDF letter template. 1,000 people are sending those things. So to trick the bureaus or get around the bureau stall games, we add all these different flavors and elements into the equation.
Oh, dang, that's crazy. David,
my favorite one is the paralyzing touch point.
Oh, yeah. All right. So if we go in here, the paralyzing touch point he's referring to here, if you go to start new round, paralyzing touch point creates a letter for each negative item that you selected, right? So if you're in this disputing tab and you select all these inquiries, so that's 19 inquiries, right? And if I come down here, so this is my actual account. I don't have any negative items. But if I have 9 accounts and the 19 inquiries, when I do a paralyzing touch point, it's going to create a separate letter for each of those people. Now, what that does is the credit bureau must respond to each of those letters within a 30-day time frame. So it's going to cost you a little bit more on postage, but it puts way more pressure on the credit bureaus, because if they don't respond in 30 days or so, then you can say, yo, you violated my rights under the FCRA. So therefore, either I demand a deletion, or we can take this to trial, or I'm going to escalate to the CFPB, and that will help you get better results as well.
Okay, so when you first come into Dispute Panda, like I know, like me, I want to go with supreme boosted everything. You know what I'm saying? So is that wise, or should I do something else first? Because I know me and Dave teach remove personal information. In Dispute Panda, where would I find something like that?
All right, great question. So let me I'm just going to keep the screen shared. So to answer your question about the personal information, so first things first, whatever you put inside of your profile. So if I was to go back to my clients here and I was adding myself as a client, you want to put your most accurate information in here, like your current information to this date, right? So your first name, middle initial or middle name, last name, all of this should match your driver's license. So if your name is spelt differently on your driver's license, you want to make it the same here. And then your utility bill should have the same name or two and the same address as well. And then when getting into what you're referring to, then you're challenging the personal information. First and foremost, every single last attack within Dispute Panda challenges personal information. But you can also come in here and hit start new round, static letters, and static letters are 100% free in the system. And then there's a specific personal information letter that you probably should send out 7 days before your first attack. And this tells the credit bureau, hey, my only name and my only address is what I have on this profile. Nothing more, nothing less. Please remove everything else. Now, full disclosure, personal information letters are a request for an update. It's not a demand, because how the credit bureaus get your personal information is from your other accounts. So if you have a checking account, not a checking account, but if you have a credit card or a student loan or installment account with a different address or old address of yours, they're going to be reporting that every month. You also need to update your creditors with your most current information also. So from a security standpoint, you want to make sure that all your personal information is 100% correct, and you can use the free personal information letter to clean that up.
Sheesh. Okay, man, that's a mouthful. So, for example, I don't know if you watch the YouTube channel like that. So, could someone use Dave Tactics and then like split screen Dispute Panda and do the same methods that we teach?
Yeah. So the one thing that Dave talks about is cleaning up personal information. Another thing Dave talks about is attacking I believe he calls them the snitches. So we do have the snitches in here: LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, ARS, Credco, Clarity, DataX, Microbilt, Factor Trust. And these guys are secondary credit bureaus in which the big three, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and Innovis is the big four. It's kind of a silent partner. They use them to verify data. And if you hit the I here as well, it breaks down what data is housed there. So Innovis, they use verification data to assist in fraud detection and prevention. They also house bankruptcy information. LexisNexis does this as well. So you will actually come in here and you can just attack them straight up. So whatever you have in your disputing tab. So say you have some negative items here. So say this was a public record, this was a collection, this was a charge off. Once you do that, you hit save filter, start new round, static letters. So for all the negative items, you would basically come in here and you select the secondary credit bureaus to attack. And when you select them, I'm just going to do them all at once. You hit start new round. It's not going to charge you anything for that, right? So anytime you get charged within Dispute Panda, which means pulls from credits, it will ask you for a confirmation. So you can create your static letters here, and then boom, we're done. It created 9 of them. You can either mail them out, and it costs you $12, or you can download and go to the post office and mail them off yourself.
Oh man, that's crazy. So not only do you by the way, we use Dispute Panda for the bankruptcies, and man, we've been smacking them boys because all we did was we used a static letter for the courthouse, and then once he got the letter for the courthouse, the people sent them off, and then you can use man, that job was crazy. So
yeah, we added this one recently: the bankruptcy court letter, the pay for delete, the goodwill. Another thing we're going to add, because a lot of people are confused on, we're adding the actual laws right next to this as well. So you'll see like the USC codes in the FCRA codes in which these represent. So people kind of can understand, oh, okay, I'm hearing about consumer law, I'm hearing about Metro 2, I'm hearing about factual. Well, all of these actually represent a law in which, can help you out with.
That's great. Yeesh. Hey, that refusal to pay letter though is a hidden gem if you know how to use it right.
Well, it's twofold, right? So we're coming up with another one that just says cease and desist. So cease and desist and refusal to pay is USC code 1692. So when you send this to a debt collector, you basically tell them, stop calling me, only contact me via mail, and I'm not paying this debt. So what that means is, and this is very powerful, for if they keep calling you after you sent the cease and desist and refusal to pay, you can sue them because they violated your rights. So once you get into like the pre-litigation side of the house, this is very, very well. We're also adding a demand letter in here as well. So it's a couple things that we're adding in to help out with people who want to sue the credit bureaus for violating their rights. So that demand letter is something that you're going to need if they don't respond to you, right? You can say, hey, I sent you a letter on this date. You didn't respond in this timely manner. I demand that you delete this or pay me XYZ. When you send that out, and then you provide all this information to an attorney, it strengthens your case. So we want to be the best credit. Once again, we want to be the Swiss Army knife that gets the job done for you. A few other things we're adding in is some automated late payment logic. So there are certain scenarios where you should not attack a late payment. And we want our software to get to the point where it's doing all the work for you. All you have to do is go out there, be great, tell your friends, tell your family, and then you can help your circle win in this credit game too.
Man, hey, that's crazy. Sheesh. All right. So, hey, look, drop a 7 in the chat if y'all like the information that's coming, because I got a lot more questions. I'm like the questioning God.
Keep asking. I mean, I just did a 4-hour live last night and I answered over 300 questions. So it's probably nothing I ain't seen before.
Oh, okay. All right. So if y'all got a question for Dom and Dispute Panda, let us know in the chat. First questions get answered first, and we're not gonna skip nobody. So I mean, we don't take what's that junk called when you pay? We don't take super chats. If you do a super chat, you can't jump the line. But Dave, you got any questions?
No, I'll let everybody get their questions because you already know I have a mouthful. So
Okay, all right. So the reason why I really like to speak Panda, Don, and it's because I'm kind of unorganized as a person, like my whole life. Like that's why I joined the military, because I needed structure. But from what I can tell, Dispute Panda is going to hold all your previous letters, so you don't have to keep track of them too much. So let's say you do take it to a lawyer, you can bring up all the letters you ever sent and once you start adding the laws, you mean bring it back up?
Oh, I thought I brought it back up. Did I bring it back up? There it is. Yeah, because you mentioned show all the letters. Yeah, so we keep a record tracking of it for you. As you see, I got stuff all the way back to August of 2022 in here. So every single last letter that you send will be in here as well.
Oh man, because when we were doing it, like I don't know how you was done, but when we was learning, all the people who we were learning from was saying we was using Excel spreadsheets and stuff. Did you ever use that?
Of course. I'm old school, man. So I still like to have it as a backup. I mean, even though we got like this dashboard where it kind of breaks down like, hey, you need to send a letter out for this person. I still like the Excel spreadsheet because I can go back and forth with the team to make sure stuff was done. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. But yeah, we got all that in there as well.
Okay.
Hey,
Hold on.
hey,
What is this?
before you get on the dispute pen, I had a question because I saw on your Facebook post, and this is going to be off topic, right? But we have a lot of people, and you really speak into finances and investing and putting your money in the S&P 500. Can you give like a little breakdown on how to build $1 million account for somebody that just have a 9 to 5? That's not like really trying to start a business, but
I mean, if you have a 9 to 5,
they just working and just want to build.
I think people from an investment standpoint, like, all right, people build their credit up to go buy the house. They build their credit up to buy a car, but they're not really thinking about their older self. So when I sit back and think about 70-year-old, 80-year-old Dominique and his kids, Olivia and Kinsley, and then their kids, the one thing I wish I had is somebody like me thinking about, damn, when this person is born, they're going to have $5 million that they can use to start their business or to do their education and stuff like that, right? So a lot of people talk about closing the wealth gap. They talk about things like that, but they're not doing anything about it. And then once I start really researching it and understanding investing in long-term investing, like family and legacy planning, I realized that for like $200 a day, $200 a month over the course of 60 years can change your family tree. Like the math is so simple and ridiculous. Like if you're working your 9 to 5, your cell phone bill most likely is $100 to $200, and then you have no problem paying Apple Music, Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, another $10 to $15 a month. Why can't you put $200 a month away automatically just for your family when you're not here 40 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Or for yourself when you get older. We gonna get tired. Dave and Mike gonna get tired of doing YouTube videos at one point in time in the future, right? What if you had your investment account cooking that entire time while you're doing this? And $200 a month will be nothing for you compared to even your ad revenue. So I think people need to start thinking about, how do I invest for the long term first to get a piece of this pie? The S&P 500 has produced 8% plus returns since 1930. I'm going to do some simple math for you real quick. I'm going to bring out a time value of money calculator. If you're starting at zero, right, and you're investing $5,000, let's say $6,000 a year, which is $500 a month, and you're doing that over 20 years, that's $274,000. Most of y'all car notes is more than that. Number two, I look at it from this perspective. You want a fancy car, right? Cool. Why don't we just put our car payment inside of the stock market, so when we want to go buy a car, we can just pull it from the stock market? Because we can borrow against our assets and let it keep growing. How y'all think Elon Musk bought Twitter? He didn't sell Tesla stock. He borrowed against his assets to buy Twitter for $44 billion. So we got to get in the game of long-term investing instead of thinking right now, I want to be fly right now, I want to eat good right now. Why can't we sacrifice $200 to $500 a month for the future that we want to have? That same 5,000, that same $500 a month across 100 years, your family won't be here. You won't be here to the benefit of it. But that turns into $164 freaking million. What are we talking about?
Okay.
And that's that. And so think about it for a second. Most of us are going to live till we 80, 90 because of health and technology now. So that means your kids is going to be able to benefit from you putting $500 a month away. I seen you brothers at CreditCon. I saw the chain you was wearing. I saw the shoes you was wearing. They was way more than $500. That's all I'm saying. And it don't got to be $500. It can be $100. $100 a month, right? Is what? $1,200 a year? Over 100 years is $32 million if you're earning 8%. $100. What are we talking about?
All right, that question. Okay, me and Dave, we wanted to reach out to you, but you big time. So because
I'm not though. I'm super accessible. What are you talking about? Dave texted me like, "Yo, can we talk?" And I was like, "Yes." What are y'all talking about? I'm mad accessible. I'm outside.
I didn't get on the phone with you. Okay. Dave didn't want to ask you. I wanted to ask you because we were talking about some investment stuff, but that might have to go for another live when we.
No, it's simple. I'm gonna tell you what to do right now. Go to Charles Schwab, open up an account, set up to automatically put in $100 into a mutual fund and invest it into the S&P 500. Figure out what to do later. Once you got $250,000 in your account, then you can get sexy. Once you got $1 million in your account, then you can start getting sexy. Keep it freaking simple. Y'all already take enough risk by running your own business, right? Let's not compound the risk. You don't got to get into options trading. You already spend your time is better spent focusing on your business, helping more people, bringing in more money from that way than worrying about exterior investments. Keep it simple. $100 a month into the S&P 500 over 100 years going to end up with a $32 million. Over 50 years, and most of y'all can do this. $100 a month over 50 years, you're going to end up with $688,000. What are we talking about? Everybody has $100 to be able to do this. Set it and forget it. Don't look at it. And then spend your time figuring out how to get more money. 8% return on average. If you look at the S&P 500 since 1932 till today, on average, it has been about 8% return. There has been months in the last 5 to 10 years, which you have 20, 30, 40% return. Over the last 5 years, the S&P 500 has returned 66%. So when you're breaking down averages, it's very tough to beat the S&P 500. Most fund managers can't even beat that.
Facts. Oh man, I love this. Hey, we talking money. Oh man. First, you got to get your credit fixed, and then, do both at the same time. Like Dominique said, when you send your letter off, go ahead and figure out where you can cut costs. Because I guarantee, like, I stopped eating fast food, and I was like, whoa. Because me and my wife, we on these like different diets. She's trying to gain weight. I'm trying to lose weight. So we used to eat out a lot. So then we just narrowed it down, and then I realized like and most people too, like spend like $10 a day. That's $300 a month.
We got a couple questions in the chat. I don't want to miss over them. I'm not sure how to bring the thing up like you guys do.
Oh, I got you.
For example, if you scroll up a bit, Kali, aka Evil Monkey, said, "Are y'all seeing these questions?" And then EGAT Allerkinson says, "Do you have a full tutorial on Dispute Panda?"
Yeah. I'm starting them. And then I was waiting for you to get off the topic, and then I'm
my bad. Once I get
no problem.
You just gotta cut me off, dog.
No, I was being selfish.
I definitely want to make sure we answering all the questions for the folks so they don't feel left out.
All right, okay. I'm sorry, y'all, for being selfish. All right, let's get it.
Which one is this? Is this one from 818? Who's
yep?
Oh, here. Can the credit bureaus verify an account without previous connected address? Yes. So here's the weird thing about the credit bureaus. They have around 20 to 30,000 different data points from you. They're the credit bureaus. They got all your data. So one thing you do want to do is they can easily verify an account. So even though you update your addresses, it helps with the removal of some things, but it's not 100% guarantee removal if you change your address to something else and then send an attack. So they can still verify it. And how can they verify that? When you send it in a dispute, let's say it's for your American Express credit card, they're going to send that verbiage, that dispute information over to American Express via the Metro 2 format, basically ones and zeros. Once it gets to Amex, Amex will correlate their response and send it back via the Metro 2 coding in standard format. And then the credit bureaus will either say updated, deleted, verified, or you'll get a stall letter. So they can still verify because they'll send it over to the person who put the information in your report.
All right, bet. I hope that answered your question. We're about to go on to the next one. And I already know the answer to this one.
We do. So once you get your Dispute Panda account, if you go to this training tab, it'll open up and it'll first show you the attack guide. As soon as you scroll down, you'll have a training for every single last thing you want to do in Dispute Panda. Also, there's 24/7 chat support and email support. So if you do have a question about something, maybe you need assistance uploading a credit report or assistance adding a document, the chat support and the email support team will do it for you and then send you a tutorial of how they did it as well. So absolutely.
All right.
The mean miss. Yes, you can. So to create your account, you will go to clients and you will hit new client and you can just add yourself as an account. One thing you just want to be sure of, don't use the same email address that you use from the credit team to get inside of Dispute Panda. You have to have a unique email address for the client. It can't match your Dispute Panda login.
Whew. All right. I put this question on there, but I was unsure.
I mean, I can answer it. So how do you use the FTC for collection? So when you think about the FTC, most people are going to identity theft.gov. Oops. Nope. Identity. Hold on. So if you have a legitimate identity theft, I'm gonna repeat myself. If you have legitimate identity theft, which means somebody took your identity, they opened up, say, a Cox Cable, Comcast Cable account in your name. They didn't pay the bill. Now it's in collection. You can come here and report identity theft. You can then go to you follow this entire process. And then when you create your attack inside of Dispute Panda, you will download it on your own and then send in your identity theft information to the credit bureau specifying, hey, this account should not be on my credit report because I'm a victim of identity theft. So you will also come in here, right? So you will do your identity theft report, and then you will come into your disputing tab. You'll highlight the item that you were a victim of identity theft with. You'll go into factual disputing mode or consumer law mode. You say, I was a victim of identity theft. Please delete this account and see the supporting FTC and police report. So you basically specifying, hey, delete this. I spelled that wrong. And then you'll hit save. You'll generate your letter. I would also specify that for the accounts that you were a victim of identity theft with, you send them separate from any other attacks, right? So say in this instance, I wasn't a victim of identity theft here, but I was for this one. I will actually uncheck this one and only do my identity theft ones, save my filter, start new round. I'll do a paralyzing touch point to create a letter for each bureau. And then I will just print off my FTC and my police report 3 times, send to Equifax, send to Experian, send it to TransUnion.
All right.
But keep in mind, legitimate identity theft, not what a guru told you, go here and do this and blah, blah, blah. Don't play with those people. Orange is the new black. You going to jail tonight? Like what Kanye say? Don't play with those people when you're talking about that. That's a federal offense. Regardless of what the gurus told you, please only do this if it's a legitimate identity theft.
All right, hey Dominique, before you continue, I want to say something. People are giving advice in the chat. Some of it I agree with, and some of it I don't. If you use any advice from anybody in the chat, you use it at your own risk. And if you already following our methods, or you're following Dispute Panda's attack patterns, you don't need nobody else to agree or give you another law to use. So just be conscious that the people in the chat can start a YouTube channel and teach this themselves, but they don't for a reason. Now, whether I agree with you or not, it is what it is. But I just want you guys to know that You know, some people got strong opinions about stuff, but we don't teach that over here. All right.
Can you import your own written letters? You cannot import your own written letters, but you can put your own verbiage. So, case in point, when most people want to write their letters, they want to include the header section referencing the FCRA and what the credit bureau is supposed to do. You can just literally come in here and go into factual disputing or consumer law mode. You don't need to write your own letter, Miss Sonia, if you come in here and you want to go into factual mode. So, case in point, the default attack engine for Dispute Panda is an automated attack engine, right? So we'll analyze the account and come up with the verbiage that we feel as though is best for it. But say in this instant, you wanted to challenge, let me go one with more late payment. So I'm gonna hit the I here, and I have this account from American Express, and say I have a late payment of January of 2020, and you want to go into factual consumer law mode. So say, for example, for consumer law, you want to challenge this from this perspective. You want to come in here, you want to add your custom message, your own verbiage, and you've been studying the law, so you want to come in here and you want to put in, let me find one. I think I have some sample verbiage that I can use here. Give me a second.
Okay. Hey, I got to answer. I'm gonna answer a question.
All right.
Quick.
So you want to come in here and say, you know what? I'm writing a dispute. The reporting of late payments on the account according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act 15 USC 1681S-2A. Creditors must provide accurate and timely information. However, I've noticed that several late payments were reported as late despite being made within the due date period. For this credit card account, I made all payments within a grace period, so I should not be marked as late per 15 USC 66B. So you see what I'm doing here, right? I'm going direct. I can go into factual/consumer law mode, and then I demand for them to update this account as never paid, agree. So you can go in and put your own verbiage in there already. You don't have to put your whole entire letter, because most people are just putting the template letters that a guru told them to put. If you look at the starting paragraph, the main thing that matters is, what are you saying for that account? What are you saying for that account? We don't need a whole letter to specify the verbiage that you want for your account. So I can come in here, put in my own verbiage, factual consumer law, save it, and then I can use the Metro 2 or automated attack engine for everything else.
Sheesh.
Now, if you have a written letter that, like, for example, a static letter, for example, the ones that we're adding a demand letter in, we added a goodwill letter in, we added a pay for delete in, send that over to support. Hey, I think you guys should add a cease. For example, somebody said, I want to cease and desist. I don't want to cease and desist and refuse to pay. Here's the verbiage that I typically use. Send that over to support. We'll analyze it, see what makes sense, do some testing with it, and then when it works, we put it into the software.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I think I made a video, or one of these videos, I was telling people to use support, because support can help you for more than just, hey, I forgot my login.
Yeah, everything. Like, if you have a question, if support can't answer it on the spot, they'll escalate to a manager. The manager will get the answer, and then support will learn how to answer that question for you.
Okay. All right.
Let's go to Thomas Carter, because I think we have some misinformation here. Wait, no. Go up. Go to Thomas. Metro 2 will get you sued. I'm being sued right now. Go to that one.
Oh, I don't see that one. What?
It was right below Miss Sonia Giles. It was Sonia, FD, and then Thomas.
Okay, hold on. Let me look. What's the timestamp say?
8:20.
Okay, that helped me.
Okay. Metro 2 will not get you sued. What gets you sued is when you have a debt collection or a charge off or a creditor that's within the state statute of limitations to sue you. When you look up at your state and when you open that account, there are time periods in which a creditor can sue you. If they've been trying to collect from you and they have not been able to collect from you and your debt is within the statute of limitations, they have every legal right to use the law to get the money from you. Whether you send Metro 2, whether you do factual disputing, whether you do consumer law, whether you do Oscar disputing, or whether you do nothing, does not negate the statute of limitations when it comes to contracts. For example, Kentucky has a 15-year statute of limitations to sue you. 15. You can be you didn't have a kid. Your kid is in junior year of high school. They're gonna be like, hey, bruh, hey, baby, what's up? They have every legal right to do that.
Man.
Please do not confuse the credit repair process and challenging with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion as the reason why you were sued. You were sued because you owed money, defaulted on a contract, and they're using their legal rights to obtain those funds. Even if they sue you to get those funds, if the item is on your credit report, you can still attack it and get it removed. That has nothing to do with your legal obligation to pay. Even to take it a step further, there's been people who had their student loans removed off their credit report via whatever method. They thought it was sweet. Sally Mae said, you owe me, big boy. Give me that. It has nothing to do. You being sued has nothing to do with credit reporting. Let's just be clear.
Man, I was
you got yourself sued, not Metro 2 got you sued.
Hey man, look, I didn't want to bring up that question because I didn't want.
You got to keep it tall. You got to let people know your credit score is a byproduct of your own financial behavior. If you are not a victim of identity theft, either you fell on the hard times or you didn't have the discipline. So therefore, now we got to go into the repair process. Let's not act like how things didn't get on our report now.
Hey man, look, I tell people fix your credit so then you can try to save enough money to eventually pay these debts, because I think a lot of people are misconstrued when they think it's not on my credit, I don't owe it anymore.
That's right? A fact. A lot of people misconstrue with that. That gets a lot of people in trouble. Oh, it got deleted, so I don't owe it. I've bet people wagers. Hey, I had $100,000 in student loans. Y'all talking on the internet talking about I can get your student loans deleted. I said you can get my legal obligation to pay removed. I would glad you pay you for that. All the credit professionals getting these student loans deleted, nobody took me up on that bet. You know why? Because you still got to pay those boys.
Yeah, so I think we got to add more education into it when we start talking about these, because we say it, but we don't say it enough, I believe. Because
you got to say it matter of factly. You got to say it straight up. You got to be the I'll say a day that said, listen, y'all getting too big to not just keep it 100. Right? Oh, yeah. Y'all gonna have people looking at y'all content like, oh, why didn't you tell me that? No, I'm telling you so then you can get it from the source. They tuned in because they need to hear it. They may not like it, but you need to hear it. Mm-hmm. All right, so she says, Lee says my ID and proof of address are different. Is that why I was having problem with my Dispute Panda account? So so you can get into your Dispute Panda account, you can upload that stuff, but I think you want to have it 100% unique across the board, because that alleviates the credit bureaus from stalling you out. They want to. I've handwritten letters by my own hand from my own account, and they still sent me an automated stall letter immediately. But then 30 days from now, they'll give me the results. So what I looked at it as, if I want to alleviate any excuse you may have of not investigating my requests. I understand you guys spend millions and millions of dollars processing mail, but I'm not going to be the client, or I'm not going to be the person to not provide you everything that's necessary to do your job. I want no excuses, because every 30 days, I don't want to keep deferring my dreams by 30 days because I didn't have a matching ID with my utility bill. You see what I'm saying? So update all that stuff to give yourself the best chance of the results that you deserve. Can you speak on the differences for bankruptcy current and past for dispute laws? I'm not understanding the question, Jackie. I'm not the differences for bankruptcy current and past for this. I don't understand the question.
Hey, can you repeat that question, Jackie? And I'm gonna go down to the bottom and I can move it to the top.
So high def Dispute Panda is 100% free to join. When you see $197 a month, you're looking at Dispute Panda Pro. Dispute Panda Pro is a CRM. You only need to get with Dispute Panda Pro if you decide to turn this into a business and you want to have a re-import summaries for your clients. You want to do integrated billing for your clients. You want to do an inboxing and messaging for your clients. You can go to Dispute Panda right now and it's 100% free. So case in point, when you go to this, when you join via Dave's link, and you go, I'm about to share my screen again, guys. Can you bring it up? And you go to disputepanda.com. When you click price, so you clicked on Pro. When you click on pricing for Dispute Panda, Pay as you go. $17 an attack. If you're using Credit Dino and you're using Dave's link, it's 100% free. Dispute Panda Pro is the CRM. This is not needed to use Dispute Panda, but when you want to make this a business, you want to get 20, 30, 40 clients, you're going to want to have some integrations and some automations.
Hey, High Def, if you got any questions about that, I'll bring them up faster than everybody else's. Because I think he answered your question. I hope he answered all of your questions. But as far as I know, it was free. And some people are trying to get the pro version. So
how can I remove a collection account from my credit report that I have no knowledge of? So I'm assuming it's on your credit report, right? So first things first, you want to do your personal information disputes. Make sure that's all cleaned up as Dave specified before you send out the attacks. Do you want to highlight the collection account here? If it's only one of them, hit save filter, start new round. I would do a paralyzing touch point if it's only one of them. If you have multiple ones, then I would probably send the pinwheel. And then with the same filter selected, I would do my static letters, and I will actually send a letter off to LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, ARS, Credco, and Clarity. And then you're waiting for the response back from the credit bureau. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more step. I'm sorry, it's a collection. Also, for my collections, I will send a debt validation letter directly to the collection agency. The reason why I would do that is I want to make sure they have they're registered in the state of mind to collect the debt here. There's a lot of debt collectors that are not abiding by their own laws. So when I send my debt validation letter, my attack to the credit bureaus, the debt validation letter forces the debt collector to respond back to you before they respond to anybody else. They need to prove that they have proper, they did everything properly to collect the debt in the state, and they did everything properly to validate the debt with you before they respond back to the credit bureaus. So I'm attacking everybody in tandem. Oh, Good Vibe says my account came back verified. So verified means they sent over the request to the data furnisher, aka the person that put it on your credit report, and they provided evidence that it should be there. So your follow-up is either twofold. You can go to your static letters here, and you're going to send a method of verification letter to the credit bureau saying, hey, provide me your information on how you actually verified this debt. What are the steps that you've done here? So if you look at the FCRA, this is a requirement of the credit bureaus as well. Or, and then you wait 30 days for the response to that before moving on to your next round. Your other response can be, you know what, I'm going to move on to my round 2 to challenge this item in a different way to see if I can get it removed from my credit report. But generally, I'll do the method of verification, wait for my response before moving on to additional attacks.
Sheesh. All right, Dave, what's next? Hey, Dave, are you removing the questions as you answer them?
I disputed a bankruptcy and myself, and they came back verified, but they have no information on how or who, because I called and asked. So I sent the letter stating that what was the method of verification. So when they came back verified, so, okay, you did the right thing, right? So they're saying, hey, we verified this debt. Now you're asking, how did you do it? So now they're supposed to provide you the procedures for doing that. If they don't provide you the procedures for their method of verification, they violated your rights. Now you can escalate to the CFPB. You can move on to an attorney. You can contact Dave and Mike and say, hey, they couldn't verify this information. Help me sue these guys, right? And they can get you right. Will Dispute Panda Metro 2 with other reporting agencies like check systems, early warning soon? So, Archie, if the account is on your credit report and there's a secondary bureau that we don't have a problem putting on there, but just keep in mind, everything in your disputing tab is based off what's on your report. Most of the time, your items that are in check systems are bank accounts. So unless that bank account is a charge off or collection, it won't show up here. If it's not here, then you won't be able to use Dispute Panda for it. Another thing is there's a lot of secondary databases that houses rental information and eviction information, right? If that never shows up on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, Dispute Panda can't assist you with that. But if you have a scenario where you're saying, hey, Dom, this checking account is on my credit report and I need to send the check systems, send that information, that screenshot over to the support. We'll get with the devs to see how we can cook something up to put it in the system. But we want to make sure that everything that we put inside of the system works and makes sense, right? Because, we don't want you guys doing extra steps.
Hey, can I stop you right there, Dave? Hey, you guys have a lot of questions, and I want you guys to know that your questions also can be sent to Dispute Panda customer support. And if you got these same questions, you guys can use support, and support to get back with you and tell you what your next attack should be. But we're going to take care of it today. But just so y'all know, you guys have excellent questions, and support should be able to help with all of them. Dominique, I just want to make sure I ain't lying.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
But I would say you probably will want them to ask the questions here because this is gonna boost up the YouTube. What you talking about?
Oh, I want them to answer here.
I think you guys gonna like.
They can send it over to support, but I'm all like, hey man, this is good. This is good business.
Yeah,
I'm talking about for people that's like, I guess rewatching it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. info@disputepanda.com if you have questions. But make sure you sign up via Dave's link first. Dave and Mike's link. Sign up first and then send your questions over to support. So we can look into your account. The team can look into your account.
Yeah, because I believe some people on here don't have Dispute Panda yet, and I think this will help them, get on the platform because, like I said, if you're gonna wait a week, you might as well just sign up for free.
Yeah, you can get in there for free immediately. Verification. What should I do after that? I'm assuming that the credit bureaus came back, said this account was verified. You will go to your tax status letter section, and then you will send out the method of verification letter. Or you can proceed with your next attack. I like to send method of verification letter to have them prove to me they did what they were supposed to do, and then I will continue with my attacks in round 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, keep in mind, if you are versed in the laws, like if you have a definitive error, like case in point, for a fact you weren't late, you have proof of that, I will go into factual disputing mode and then send them with my attack all that additional things like, hey, this is a date I paid, it shouldn't be there, just that and the third. If you don't have facts or you don't have consumer law, which you can tie to use the AI engine for your next round after you do your method of verification.
Hey.
What letters do we send to hush the snitches? So this will be your static letter. So let me I'm gonna go back. I might as well just keep this presentation screen up.
I was asking.
Yeah, I might as well just keep that thing up. All right. So to attack the snitches, once you upload your documentation, right? You're gonna upload your documentation, you're gonna import your credit report, you're gonna select the items that are negative, you're gonna hit save filter, start new round, static letters. You're going to scroll down just a little bit and you'll see the snitches say other, right? So then you can just left click them. You hit start new round. So these are all the snitches that Dave's mentions. We created that in less than 7 seconds. You can either mail them out or you can download them and then mail them out on your own using, I got some forever stamps too if you like to mail on your own.
All right.
So,
ooh, coming at your neck. He said he just got married. He on his honeymoon. Mind your business,
I
Rosemary.
don't answer my email.
Mind your business,
I do answer
Rosemary.
my email. I get like, I don't know, I can say thousands of emails. So I try to respond back to as many people I can at a certain given time. I got Instagram
hundreds of
times, TikTok DMs. I got a lot of DMs. So I'm sorry if I didn't get back to you, but you can contact my team at 407-863-3024. I'm sorry.
How many emails y'all get a day? Emails and DMs y'all get a day?
I don't know the exact number for you, though.
It's insane. Damn. Like we tried. All we could do is try. We hired staff. They can't keep up with it because they got specific questions. They on the phone with us, and then we were like, you know what? Let's just do this so we can keep answering questions.
I'm about to say this is the best way, best use of your time. Put your questions on the forum. We're gonna knock them out, and you get to use it as content.
I have. I have this.
So I'm not sure how to say her name, Miss 444. I have Dispute Panda. However, I had hand wrote letters to the CRAs and the creditors to remove 3 negative accounts. Yet they still say the accounts are updated and verified. Should I use Dispute Panda? So that's the unfortunate thing about handwriting and doing things on your own. You know, it could take you 20, 30 minutes to kind of figure it out, and you still going to end up getting a verified and updated result. So I would say you should use Dispute Panda, use Dave and Mike's credit monitoring link, and then, you know, you're getting your attacks for free, right? So why handwrite when you can actually come into Dispute Panda as well? And if you like handwriting mode, you can change it to handwritten font. So now every single last thing you sent out is as if you hand wrote it, but you don't have to spend your 30 minutes to an hour trying to figure this stuff all out.
Whew. Oh, that's some heat.
The cost of Dispute Panda. So access is 100% free. When you're using Dave and Mike's credit monitoring link, your attacks are free. So what you'll end up paying for is mailing. So mailing is something that you either have to do on your own or you will do through the system, right? So in this instance, we just created 9 letters to what Dave calls the snitches. So we can download and mail and get our letters. So if you got access for free from Dave, you're using Dave and Mike's credit monitoring, that means your attacks are free every 35 days. The only thing that you will pay for will be mail. So it will cost you $12.33 to mail this out directly from the platform. Or you can download them, and then you hit this download button, and then boom, you can download and mail on your own. So if you already got stamps or you already got envelopes, you essentially can do your credit repair 100% for free with credit monitoring by using Dave and Mike's links.
Hey, we need to clip that and put it on TikTok. You can let us free if you use our credit monitoring link. Wow.
So Rosemary, how can I remove a closed account that has late payments but has 0 balances? So my first question to you is, how old? When was this account opened, and how many late payments are we talking about? Once you provide me that answer, I can give you a more definitive way forward. Can I just hire you to fix my credit? Unfortunately, Miss Katrina, I cannot do that. That will be a ethics issue, right? I can't be a CMO of a credit software and run a credit repair company. So I even had to sunset my own credit repair company and all my dealings because I need to focus. I would say you are in the right place by dealing with Mike and Dave. So I would say reach out to their support. If they do have an elevated service, I'm pretty sure they'll let you know. But unfortunately, I don't have the bandwidth and I don't have the capabilities to do that. Maybe that question wasn't for me. Maybe that was for y'all, though.
I think it was for you.
I think it's
Rosemary says, Mr. Brown, are you in charge of Dispute Panda? No, I'm the CMO. I have an equity stake. That's why I'm outside. I wouldn't do anything. I dance for equity. Equity makes me dance. So therefore, I have decision-making authority. I can sway some people. I can light a fire under customer service for you. And I can take your suggestions and make sure they're heard.
Hold on. For the people who ain't Fortune 500 literate, what does CMO mean?
Chief Marketing Officer. Actually, I wear a couple hats. You know, some days I'm Chief Marketing Officer. Some days I'm business development. Some days I'm a tester. So, you know, you're going to wear multiple hats. But CMO, it was the right title because, you know, I'm the guy that make things happen. I'm a lot of the reason why you hear a lot about Dispute Panda at the moment.
Okay.
2 late payments. Oh, now let me ask you something, Rosemary. So let me just say, so since 2015, I'm gonna do some math really quickly. And you tell me if you should worry about this account. So 2015, my account is open. It's 2023 right now. That means that's 8 years old, right? So for 8 years times 12 means we have 96 on-time payments. So you're telling me you want to delete an account. You made 96 free throws and you want to throw your whole NBA career away over 2 misses?
I gotta use that analogy. That's crazy.
So even from a batting percentage, right? You're 94 out of 96. 94 divided by 96. You're batting at a 97.91% on-time payment history. In order to maximize all 35% of your points on payment history, you need to be around 98%. I'm not touching this account. I don't want it to go away. I don't want to throw away the baby with the bathwater. So this is one thing that we're also working on within Dispute Panda, right? Because there's certain things like that a person may just not know not to touch. In your instance, I'm leaving it alone. I'm not worried about that at all.
Oh yeah.
He's just
100%.
gonna.
Hold on, Dave. I gotta hold on, Dave. Hold on, Dave. I gotta bring one up. I think this is a good question. So wait, what is Dave's credit monitoring? And also, so with
In the
it,
description.
oh, yeah, I think we've been dropping it. He's like, we don't have to pay for a tax question.
Yeah. Email support. Dave gonna send you the link so he can hook you up with free attacks. Let's just do that. Let's say that. Dave, if you email, what's your email? Drop your email in there so they can email y'all to get the link so they can get free attacks within the Speed Panda.
Hold on, which link we going to get? Email we're going to give them?
Whatever one your team going to be able to respond back in a timely manner with the link that they need to get free attacks.
Hey guys, if we drop this link in the description of this video, would you guys go back to the video to grab that link? Drop a 7 if you would do that.
Text. Have them text the team. God,
Yeah,
so
tell them to
like,
text. Like, that's how y'all should be running this. Like, hey man, because y'all got a special link to give people free attacks. There's no reason why they shouldn't be texting y'all, getting into y'all email database, and then y'all sending them the proper link so they can get their stuff.
Okay, text free attack to this number right here, y'all. And
you want to put the whole thing up there. Just put you saying it, but you got to put text free attack up there so when people see it on the replay, they get it as well. Right. And then put that in the description. Text free attacks to 407, blah, 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 blah. So no matter what happens to this video, people know what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Sorry, y'all. I'll be going into business mode with my guys.
No, that's fine. I just got to
see them win.
I got to learn how to use StreamYard. I'm like,
I want to see them win. I always turn into business mode.
Let me see. Edit layout. Nah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to put this thing as a banner. Give me a second.
Okay, how long can... Well, she got the questions.
How long can you dispute a collection? Hey, round of applause for Rosemary. The StreamYard got like sounds and all that stuff y'all can kick up. Y'all got like air horns, claps, applauses. Oh, come on, man. We gotta switch the streaming service. I gotta get y'all together. Okay, so Rosemary, the statute of limitations, the federal statute of limitations for an account to be on your report is 7 years plus 180 days, right? Your collection will be on your report mirroring the last time you paid for the other account. So say you had a credit card that you haven't paid for 4 years. That means the collection will remain on your report in tandem with that account for the additional 3 years plus 180 days. However, there's no laws or no rules saying that you can't challenge an item on your credit report every month. What I will caution you to do is, because the laws specify that if you send in a dispute for the same account before the 30 days are over, you're going to give the credit bureaus an additional 15 days. So what I will tell you to do is every 35 or every 40 days, you challenge that negative item until it's gone. It costs you nothing to make them do their job outside of whatever it costs to mail, whatever time it takes you to mail. Great question, by the way. There you go. And you need to throw that inside every single ass YouTube description too. Hey, just keep it tall, man. I would do it. Y'all got a lot of people watching y'all videos. Why not?
Whew. Now let me get back
to Dave, you need to shoot a commercial with that. Hey, by the way, you know I can give you free attacks and dispute Panda. Text 407-863-30224.
Put it on our videos, run ads. We target
you got to make it rhyme like Mike Jones too. 281-330-8004. You got to do something fly like that.
We got to change our number.
What the heck? Yeah, we'll do that. Let me see.
What about child support on credit in California? So a couple ways to handle child support. So in one instance, are you behind? So if you're not behind, typically child support only hits your credit when you are in arrears, but you will attack that no different than a debt collection or a charge off, right? So you still will send your attack, I like to separate child support too. So I probably would either do a paralyzing touch point or only select this one individually. And then I will send an attack to the snitches as well. But most importantly, once you are paid up, it's going to be deleted from your credit report. Child support only hits your credit report when you are in arrears.
Right.
So the issue will be, even if you got to delete it from your credit report, if you are in arrears, in 4 months, it's going to come back. But the moment you catch up and then you challenge it, it's gone. Or the moment you prove that it was an error and it comes back, it's gone.
Sheesh.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. So are the laws different for disputing a current bankruptcy versus a dismissed? So no, it's the same exact process. The unfortunate piece versus discharge and dismiss, Jackie, is that the moment you put in that paperwork to go forward with the bankruptcy, even if you didn't complete all the requirements, it's going to show up on your credit report. That's why I tell people, please make sure you are 100% going to go through with the BK. So dismiss versus discharge is handled the same exact way. Great question. Mac, so here's the interesting thing about inquiries, right? If I go to my disputing tab, as you notice, no inquiries are selected. Now, why is that? Well, inquiries come up kind of weird. JPMCB card, JPMCB card. It says it's several different ways, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I only have one that says JPMCB card service here. But even though it says that, that doesn't mean that this particular inquiry is tied to this open account. So I would say, because inquiries are only 10% of your credit score, aka only 50 points, the only time you need to challenge inquiries is if it's prohibiting you from getting the funding or the loan that you need. It is better for you to just chill, because after a year, they have no impact on your score. After 2 years, they fall off. I will only challenge inquiries if it's a scenario where I'm trying to get funding and I know for a fact that the inquiries I'm challenging are not tied to open revolving accounts. Leave those inquiries alone, not even worth your time. Unless you're trying to get funding and it's preventing you from getting funding. Unless you're trying to get a home and it's preventing you from getting a home. That's the only time I would touch my inquiries, because I'm too scared to close off one of my $50,000 credit cards.
Hey, congratulations. Hey, we got up to 200 people. Hey, thank you for joining, and we got over 100 likes. Hey, thank you guys for showing the support.
I can't get no more likes than that. Come on now. Give me some
Hey.
more likes. I'm out here. I'm fighting for my life, answering all these questions for y'all. I can't get no love. I got no love for Snoop and Dr. Dre.
Man.
I'm sorry, y'all. I like to have fun with it. I know this is some nerd stuff we talking about, but that don't mean we can't have fun with it.
Turn up.
All right,
Kobe said, I'm new to fixing credit. Where do I start? I have my full credit report. Dave, do you got a video which breaks down how to get started?
I'm trying to think. I think I do.
If not, you got one on the training website, but I'm pretty sure you have one.
Yeah, I got a video.
So if you go to disputepanda.com/training, Kobe, it breaks down every single last thing I'm talking about in here.
Hey, Kobe, how you got that name? Like, I'm pretty sure that thing was taken a long time.
Right, that's crazy. No, it's probably Kobe Bryant on YouTube, probably though, or maybe Kobe don't even care. Kobe, who's better, Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan?
Anything but Kobe.
Drop that in the chat. If you had to pick a shooting guard, if you had to choose between Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe to start your all-star team of your NBA franchise, Kobe, who you going with?
I'm going with LeBron.
Put it up through to the end, Kobe.
I'm going with Bron, man. Ain't no way. I'm going with Bron all day.
I mean,
his point forward right there. He gonna give you buckets.
Kobe, though.
No, I'm just answering for me. Kobe.
That's a legitimate question. He can like Kobe and be honest.
Facts.
No, he can't.
Tell him put his. I'm curious. Did he put his answer in the chat yet?
Nah. Take it to the grave. Oh man, now you got people dropping Kobe, LeBron in the chat. Hey, this thing about to explode.
Peter Lou, look like he in there dunking too. Hey, y'all got people who getting buckets in y'all live stream. Okay, so LexisNexis removed the item that I disputed. Congratulations. Innovis reported my items verified. I sent out an attack to the 3 credit agencies. What's your question, sir?
What's your question?
Thank you for taking action. I feel like I'm yelling. Let me stop yelling.
No, keep yelling.
Oh, this is a great one. So marvelous. So they send us back stall letters saying they won't take action. I would say about 80 to 90% people within the first 7 to 10 days of receiving the dispute is going to receive a automated stall response from the credit bureau. It's typically going to say, oh, we're so concerned, but go to our website. Are you working with a credit clinic or a credit repair professional? Go to our website. Oh, we received a dispute. We don't think it's you. We're not going to do anything. And then either at the 30-day mark, they send you a response in the mail. So the way I look at it like this, the law says I send in the dispute, FCRA section 611, procedures in case of disputed accuracy. Matter of fact, let me bring it up.
Whew.
Let's bring it up.
15 USC 1681I. There you go.
All right. So if we scroll down into the FCRA, you want to go to section 611, 1681I, right? Procedure in case of disputed accuracy. Let me zoom in a bit. So this is the section that determines what they are supposed to do when they receive a dispute. It's always called a reinvestigation, right? So subject to subsection F and except as provided in subsection G, if the completeness and or accuracy of any item of information contained in a consumer's file at a consumer's reporting agency is disputed by the consumer and the consumer notifies the agency directly or indirectly through a reseller of such dispute, the agency shall, free of charge, conduct a reasonable reinvestigation to determine whether the disputed information is inaccurate and record the current status of the disputed information or delete the item from the file in accordance to paragraph 5 before the end of the 30-day period beginning on the date on which the agency receives the notice of the dispute from the consumer's reseller. So in your instance, when you get that stall letter, I don't care. I'm waiting from 30 days. So I sent it on the 1st. It got there on the 7th. You got 30 days to send me a legitimate response back before I make my next move. Everything else, you just bluffing. Everything else, you just blowing smoke. Everything else, you just trying to get me off my mission.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why we wait the 30 days is because except as provided in paragraph subparagraph C, the 30-day period are described in subparagraph A, which we just read, may be extended for not more than 15 additional days if the consumer reporting agency receives information from the consumer during that 30-day period that is relevant to the reinvestigation. So now I just proved to you by law why I'm waiting for 30 days to go by. I don't want to give you an additional 15 days to investigate.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dominique, before you answer this question, hey, we see y'all questions in the chat. We're answering the
order.
question in order. Oh, you guys are like, hey, help me, please. They ain't talking to me and stuff like that.
I got you.
We are going in order, bro. We gonna get to you. I just wanted to say that because it's funny.
I answer all questions and I welcome all smoke. I've been on the live yesterday for 4 hours. I answered 400 questions.
Sheesh.
We gonna answer all the questions because then people gonna watch. You got to do it, right? Because people tune into you because they know, like, and trust you. So if I'm on your platform, I want to respect that and I want to answer every single last question truthfully. You may not like how I deliver it, you may not like the medicine, but I want to get a game how you're supposed to get it. So I'll have no problem being here all day until we answer all the questions.
Oh, okay, because I was worried. We read it up on time. I was like, hey, Dominique only got an hour for us.
Right. Mojo Jojo, like the Powderpuff Girls. Are y'all able to explain why it's more important to have a thicker credit profile as opposed to having a high score? I always hear so many focus on a score instead of data points and a thicker profile. This is not Dispute Panda centric, so y'all want to answer it or y'all want me to answer it?
Go ahead.
Oh, nah, go ahead.
I got to say first.
No. So,
because you had a perfect credit score. So, I need you to answer that.
Hey, y'all about to learn from somebody with a perfect credit score, but I want to answer it too, just so I can make sure I'm talking about the right things. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody talks about having a thicker credit profile versus the credit score because if you have a high credit score, so for example, a lot of people remove stuff from their credit, right? But if they only have 2 items that are in good standing and they're like 7 years old, you can have a high credit score, right? But what me and Dave usually say is, what's the use to have a Ferrari without a motor? So we only say that because the thicker your credit profile is, the more the banks can look into your history, because Dom said that your credit is a byproduct of your behaviors, your financial behaviors. So if you have a thick credit profile showing on-time payments over and over and over with multiple vendors and accounts, then the banks and people will trust you more.
Credit is credibility. If you don't got credibility, you ain't good in these streets.
Yeah, like would you trust somebody that drive if they never got in an accident but they only drove twice, versus the person that might got in an accident but they drove 1,000 times?
Yeah, I give you a better analogy on that one. I just got my driver's license. I'm 18. Never drove before. Ain't got nothing on my record. Never drove. But and then my other cousin is 36. He's been driving, never had an accident. It's about having proof of concept.
That's right.
Yo, so your profile matters more than the score. Absolutely, Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking about getting in the position for funding, for big credit limits, you probably want to have 5 to 6 accounts reporting. Let's say 3 revolving, 3 installment for at least 6 months. That thickens up the profile a bit. And then ideally you want to have big age as well. Great question. I'm not even sure how to say your freaking name. I'm gonna call you 35. Experience sent me a stall letter. Equifax is responding to disputes and didn't hear anything from TransUnion. So keep in mind, guys, when you send your attacks, you're sending them to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That means you're going to have 3 different investigation processes, and you need to wait for 3 different types of results. And sometimes the results vary. So the stall letter from Experian, I'm waiting until my 35th day after I sent the letter in before I do my reply. For Experian, if they don't send you an actual reply back, they just kicked me out. Give me a second. If they don't send you an actual reply back, then I would do this for my Experian stuff. So I would go to my disputing tab, and then say, for example, I want to handle my, you said Experian sent me a stall letter. So then I would basically highlight my Experian stuff, right? And say, all right, you didn't reply to these 3 disputes that I sent you from the last round. I'm only checking Experian, save filter, start new round, static letter, failure to respond for Experian. For the other one, what they say, Equifax responded. So either they give you a verified, updated, or deleted, right? So if Equifax verified, I'm doing the same thing with Equifax, but I'm doing a method of verification. TransUnion, after the 35th day, if they didn't respond, then I'm sending them a failure to respond letter only for the TransUnion items. So you got to think of it that way. I'm speaking to 3 different people. I initially sent out my attack for everybody at once, but now how I handled my responses to them has to be an individual basis. If you want to do it the lazy way, you can just say, well, cool, I'm just going to follow up my second attack round, and then I'll worry about responding to their responses in round 3 versus round 1.
All right, Ben. What's the next question? Hey, some of you guys aren't getting skipped. Some of you guys are just lagged.
We answered this one already.
And it's delayed.
We answer her.
Okay, my bad. Let me scroll back down. That's what it was. Okay. There we go.
So you did a method of verification. What was their response? Good vibes. Did they send you back to verify? Did they send you back stuff verifying that it should be there?
I'll let him turn back. Why, yes.
Remove a closed account that has late payments with 0 balance. I believe she answered this one too. I believe she said this was the one with 2 late payments for 2015, and I told her to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all have rent reporting companies on Dispute Panda, like Rent Bureau, Safe Rent, etc., trying to get eviction removed from public record? So if it's a public record and it's on your credit report, some of the secondary bureaus also manage that stuff. Rent Bureau, Safe Rent are not secondary bureaus that we have in here. We do have the 9 in here. Some of them do manage the rental stuff. So Lamar, if there is specific secondary bureaus that houses rental information and you have a list of them, send that over to info@thespeedpanda.com. I can push it up to the team to investigate to see if we can add that static letter in there for you.
I ain't never heard them before.
Yeah, me either. I'm assuming, so when he said Rent Bureau and Safe Rent, that sounded like reporting your rent to the your credit report versus the secondary bureaus that houses investigation. But I don't want to be, misspeak.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. All right.
Classy Express, like the name. How do I go about getting Experian to remove old personal info? Dave, did you do the Experian backdoor method video? You had a video on that?
Yeah, I have.
So one, check Dave's YouTube on the Experian backdoor method. That's one. Number two, you can call the credit bureaus. And number three, you can send in a personal information static letter inside of Dispute Panda. Just make sure that your name, first, middle, and last name, and your address inside of your Dispute Panda account matches what's on your driver's license, and make sure that name and address match on your cell phone or your utility bill, and then include your SSN. Monte says, how do I get inquiries off? So you can challenge inquiries with inside the disputing tab. So say, for example, I wanted to challenge all 19 of my inquiries. I could just select them, and then I can also include them within my disputes for my other accounts. But one thing I like to do is I like to keep inquiries separate from my stuff. So anytime I'm sending stuff with inquiries, I'm going to do save my filter, start new round. I like to send a punch your fury or a round kick if I'm including inquiries, because it separates my inquiries on a different letter.
That one already.
Melody says, how long are accounts supposed to stay on your credit report? So the federal statute of limitations for credit reporting is 7 years plus 180 days from your last date of activity. So from your last payment plus 7 years plus 180 days are how long items will stay on your credit report. If it's always been a positive account, it could be up to 10 years. So sometimes real estate stuff and student loans last to 10 years. But that's how long things are going to stay on your credit. So if you have I believe I gave an analogy of a collection or a charge-off before. So your collections and charge-offs are already tied to existing accounts or existing data. So say I had a credit card and I've been going on 4 years of not paying them, and then they turn it over to a collection agency. It will only stay on my report for an additional 3 years plus 180 days. If you Google statute of limitations for credit cards, I mean, that's a good video topic y'all probably should do next then. That's a good video topic y'all should do. I'll just stop there.
I'll go back. What is the best way to attack a repo? My sister brought gap insurance with the car. They went 60 days late and the car got
I was getting ready to say, did your gap insurance kick in and then end up paying for it? Because a lot of times when a repo gets reported, it's reporting the wrong amount. Number two, there's a lot of state-specific repossession laws. You want to make sure, Brian, that they followed all the state-specific notices. So if you Google your state plus repossession laws, it will break down a whole lot of information where you might be able to clip them up. But as far as Dispute Panda goes, you will challenge that or attack it the same way you will attack a collection or a charge-off. But in your instance, I would do a little bit more research. Like, did your sister get 30 or 60 days notification that they want to take the car? Is the amount owed inside on the credit report exact as what you actually owe? Do they try to add in additional fees? So it's a lot of little small things with repos that are state specific that you would need to look up.
Fire.
Can I edit the date on a static letter from a few days prior if I don't mail it out on the day I create it, or do I have to create a new static letter? So Princess Blackberry, there are no dates on the letter. The reason why you don't need any dates on your letters, because when you send things through the mail, that is what is time stamped as far as receipt or anything like that. So you can pre-create your attacks and send them out however you want to send them. This is why we also included integrated mailing into the system, because life happens, right? You create an attack and you're like, man, I had to do this for my kids. I had to do this event, and then you don't get around to sending it out. Whereas in this instance, well, it doesn't matter when you send it out because the timestamp is when it's put in the mail. So Rosemary, when you said I didn't receive validation information from a collection company, did you send the debt validation letter to them, certified mail? The credit report, who says verified is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The debt collection company they report data to them, but they also need to respond to you if you send a debt validation letter to them. Jessica, are you referring to adding yourself as a client? If so, when you get your free Dispute Panda account, when Dave and Mike send you the link, you will go to the clients tab. You will hit new client here. We also have a training on the disputepanda.com/training. The first one, getting access to Dispute Panda. As soon as you click this, is a 2-minute video of me walking through step by step with captions on how to do everything.
Ooh.
Jackie says, is this service better than Experian and other credit reporting agency services? So, Jackie, Dispute Panda is a credit repair software that helps you analyze and challenge negative items or derogatory items on your credit report. Experian and other credit reporting agency services are mainly concerned around monitoring. So it's vastly better than Experian when it comes to assisting you with getting negative items off the report and challenging stuff with the bureaus. Alberto says, I'm trying to set up Dispute Panda and it's not working because I don't have a company name. That's okay, Alberto. Just put Alberto in as the company name. The reason why it says company name there too, most people go on to start a company or help their friends. So they add in their own name in there, and then they start adding family and friends as clients so they can help them improve their credit. But you can start with your own name. You can always update it later. That account needs to go, Natasha. that got to boo. We're not gonna do that. That gotta go. There's nothing about that account that needs to be around. So in this instance, my theory is if your account is 5 years and older and you have less than 3 late payments on that, that's when we want to challenge factually consumer law mode, or make sure we specify update as never late paid as agreed. In your scenario, when you have 14 payments since 2020, your on-time payment history is really low. So if you have 3 years times 12, that's 36 payments, right? 14 of those payments are late. That means you're only at what, 38% free throw percentage when it comes to on-time payments. We want that deleted ASAP. Gone. Adios. I sent many disputes of my own, but I got a letter saying they will not reinvestigate again. Which dispute will you pick on Panda? So the verbiage, regardless of which attack you choose in Dispute Panda, we don't work off of letter templates. And what that means is whatever attack you choose here, the verbiage will be different. So what you're selecting is how many items are going onto a letter, right? And then when you get deeper, you're selecting what do I want the letter to look like, and then do I want handwritten font? So if I was you, I would start off using the advanced attack flow from the Dispute Panda guide. So if you go to the training tab, you hit this free download and you scroll down and use the most effective one. So I will start off with Pinwheel Supreme Boosted, and now we use Round Kick Premium, Round Kick Supreme. Now, why did they say they're no longer investigating? They typically do that when you challenge the same exact thing every month, every time, because they're gonna say we already talked about this 2 months ago. You have to challenge it in a different way to trigger a new investigation. Number two, if you've been challenging for like a year, I would say wait 45 to 60 days, let it breathe a little bit, then start your disputing process all over again, doing what Dave and Mike say as personal information first, snitches, and then attacking.
Hey, can I say something real quick? I seen a comment. I want you guys to know that when you send off a letter, there's no guarantee that anything is going to come off, right? I want you guys to pretty much get excited that whatever letter comes back from the credit bureaus, you are going to have the best system possible to fight the credit bureaus back. Now, what we teach is to remove the information so that you can have a shot at getting the deletion, right? Just off information alone, because when we first started fixing credit, or we first heard about credit, nobody was teaching us these tactics that credit repair companies are using. So what we're doing for you guys is we're bypassing the credit repair process by going through a company where you guys can come here and learn and actually run your dispute process just like a credit repair company. All right. So, oh, my bad.
Carl, this is a great example here, right? So some certain instances where I got those 2 or 3 late payments, you can come in and use a goodwill letter, right? So I may not want to attack it initially. So this is a great segue. If I have a scenario where, and let's use Miss Rosemary's scenario. She says, Mr. Brown, my other account is a Gap card, has 4 late payments and was open in 2014. Well, Miss Rosemary, I'm coming in here and I'm selecting static letters. I'm doing a goodwill letter, right? And I'm going to send this I'm going to try to find a couple not emails, but I'm going to try to find the address of like the corporate office, and I want to send this there to an executive. And then in Carl's instance, I'm going to try to find the emails of the Gap executives, and I'm going to email this goodwill letter over to them as well. Because if I can get them to do me a solid and take off 2 or 3 of those late payments, my score is going to go up because 35% of my score is on-time payment history. I don't want that account deleted. So I might start off with the free goodwill letter, and at 2 or 3 months, because a goodwill letter is you're asking, can you please do me a solid because I went through a little hardship. If that don't work after 3 months, and if it's for an account with less than 4 late payments or something like that and pretty old, then I'll go into attacking it. But I'm changing my verbiage in here, right? I might come in here and say whatever, update as paid as agreed, never late, because I don't want it deleted. So, Carl, that was a great comment, Carl. Yes, you can use a goodwill letter. You can send those for free with inside of Dispute Panda as well. This was a perfect segue. I think I kind of answered your question, Farrell. So how can we delete late payments without deleting an account? You have to specify that within your verbiage, right? So once you go into a factual disputing mode, I will come in here and say, you know what? Payment history. Say I was late on, they're saying I was late April of 2018. I will specify I wasn't late and how I want them to investigate. And do not delete this account. Please just update it as never late paid as agreed. You will specify that in there with your custom messaging.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a question for you guys.
Step 3, yes. So you hush snitches, lock them out. Also, then you send out your first letter, which you set them up. And you can use pinwheel attack, Supreme Boosted, or the secret letter, either or, to set the credit bureaus up. Because I want them to send something back. 777. Sheesh. I think people just starting.
All right, what question we on now?
I'm looking for the question now.
I got it.
Okay.
Damn, this is a tough one. Paid off a collection for a pay for delete and TransUnion is not having it. It's still on there. So when you sent your pay for deletion letter, the collection agency sent a response back to you in writing saying they were going to delete it, Moni? If that's the case, then it might be a scenario where it might take 60 days or so for it to be deleted, or you need to call that collection company saying, hey, we had an agreement. Because the only way it's going to get removed from TransUnion is when that collection company submits that paperwork saying, take this off. Yeah. But either case, I still will attack it. But then I'm calling a collection company and asking them to honor what we agreed to.
Mm-hmm. It might take a little minute for them to update too on TransUnion.
Typically about 60 days.
Get that information that they say is going to delete it from the collection agency, and then you can also use CFPB.
Natasha says she's having issues uploading her credit report. What kind of credit report are you trying to upload, Natasha? But you can also send an email to info@disputepanda.com and they will literally update it for you or walk you through it.
Sheesh.
That's what 24/7 support is for, dog. Like if you can't help the people, we gotta get more people in here who can.
Oh man, oh yeah, we already did that.
I think I answered this one.
Yep. I'm trying to start.
We almost catching up. It's 9:32. Y'all around 9-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Moni says she blocked the snitches and froze everything. You might want to unfreeze. That could make it difficult to that could make it difficult for you when you're trying to get things in the future, because they're gonna check those things like insurance and stuff like that. It's typically tied to those secondary bureaus. Let me stop answering questions before y'all put them up here.
No, you good? I see it. Let's go down the line.
Miss Bentley, what about getting an eviction removed? So, Miss Bentley, is this on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? Or is this on some form of secondary database that's not reporting to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? I'm sorry to hear about the divorce and, you know, the money things that come along with that. But I just need to know, is it on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion first, or is it some secondary bureau that's jamming you up?
All right.
I see these Kobe, LeBron fans. I'm starting to catch up now.
What do I do if I've frozen an extended account on all three and I'm having increase popping from unknown companies like Innovis? So Innovis is the fourth credit bureau, and typically they have a relationship with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion where they will look into your profile. It's a soft inquiry. It's not a hard inquiry, so it won't have an impact on you. It's not much you can do because generally you most likely opted in somewhere for them to do that. So when you're looking at your credit report, I believe it shows your soft inquiries too. Your hard inquiries are the only one that's negatively impacting you.
Mm-hmm.
You hitting this question, right?
There
I
you go.
think I answered him because I said, okay, what was their response to the method of verification?
All right.
Yeah, we're waiting for him to respond back.
How can I dispute an MCM collection if they aren't the original creditors? So twofold. So one, you have to decide if we're going to send a cease and desist refusal to pay or just we want debt validation. So if they're on your credit report, right? Typically they'll show up here like MCM, something like that, and they'll say collection, this, that, and the third. You'll hit save filter here, and of course you'll tack it normally. But I also will go into my static letters, and so if I'm in a scenario where I don't want them to call me, and I know, and it's under $1,000 or so, and I know for a fact that they may not sue me for under $1,000, I might hit them with a cease and desist refusal to pay. Because in this instance, if you call me, you text me, you message me outside of the requirements of USC 1692G, I can sue you. Or if I just want to see, hey, do they have the ability to even collect in my state? I'm going to send MCM a debt validation letter having them prove that they have the ability to collect. So I'm attacking them directly, and I'm attacking the credit bureaus with it. I did a pay for deletion. I paid the collection company. It's off my report, but the original companies have appeared. I've been fighting them since 2020. What can I do? So the original creditor will remain on your report until 7 years plus 180 days. The debt collection company is off because you handled that, but the original creditor doesn't have to get off your report until the federal statute of limitation comes off. But you would. I'm assuming the original creditor is popping up like this on your report, right? So you will attack them normally. So you got the debt collection out of the way. Now you need to handle that original creditor, which most likely you had all those late payments with.
It's not a question, but I think that's his game plan.
I lock my credit profiles with the secondary bureau, so you froze them up, and we'll dispute with Dispute Panda next. Wish me luck. I just want to be able to PG my business for cash flow to expand my business stuff. So, Dave and Mike, do you guys assist with like the business credit stuff too?
Not anymore. Nope.
Well,
we just give them.
I'm not sure what your. Go ahead, Mike.
I said we just give people information on how to get.
Yeah, I will say I'll drop a gem if you don't mind here. So if you're trying to do like funding, one thing that I really like, if you go to, what is it? Financial Fitness Association, right? And you look at their partners. So financesfitnessassociation.org. If you look at their partners, you will scroll down, you will notice that it only costs $10 to join this organization, but you have some of the most lenient credit unions ever when it comes to funding. So, for example, First Tech is one you'll see a lot on TikTok and Instagram. If you go with him, these guys are giving out $20K to $50K in business loans like clockwork, right? But all of these partners typically have the same lending credentials. So then you can say, you know what? I did First Tech. Let me see what Fort Financial talking about. And then you can say, you know what? I did Fort. Let me see what Heritage Community Credit is talking about. And then you said, I did them. Let me see what Uncle Credit Union is talking about. So you can pretty much fund yourself to $250,000 just by working with some credit unions off of this one association. Can I get some pandas in the chat for the free game? For who's here at an hour and 35 minutes that just figured out to get $250K in funding without paying a funding fee?
I was gonna say, hey, clip that up. I was like, we gotta put that in, we gotta put that somewhere on the
that's a mentorship thing. Like I found that off the Humble. Like, oh snap, I had never seen y'all talking about these places. So I was on another call and somebody had a bankruptcy and they had like a close to a 680. Got her $40K in funding on that call, just like that. So DCU Credit Union is another one. They give money out like clockwork.
Digital Credit Union,
yeah. You can probably, and you can join there when you can join them right on the application. You can get 20K. I like to tell people to get the Visa Platinum one here, so you can get 20K off these guys pretty easy. And then you and then you go to First Tech. You get in with them, you can get another 20K off of them, and then you just start running the gambit off the Financial Fitness Association one.
I'm trying to see.
Hopefully that helps. High def.
Redstone. That's an list.
See, I'm rich Uncle Dom. I can just get a game away. That's where I'm at now with it. My goal is very simple: make my free better than they paid, and talk my ish how I want to talk my ish. I'm gonna talk to you how I want to talk to you, and then you're gonna get these gems and you're gonna leave me alone. That's how I live.
Yeah, man. Hey, the credit repair streets missed you, man.
Nah. The game don't love me. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I can help way more lives this way.
Same. All right, let me see. Hey, Dave, I might start some more questions too.
Oh, this is a good one. Let's look it up. Are late payments illegal? Short answer, no. Let's look up 15 USC 1681 Section 8. I've actually mentioned that. I actually did not type that as a
not here.
No. Hold on. I did type that. I was using that as my reason. What was I mentioning here? 15 USC 1681 S2A, right? What'd she say? It's the same section she referenced.
S2A, I think number 1.
We gonna go to it. Let's read it, guys.
Oh yeah, man. We was fighting that battle for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, let's read it.
I think the wrong one, but
she says 1681 Section 2A. I'm pretty sure. I feel like that's the permissible purpose section.
I think A is like the general stuff. B is like purpose. Yeah, so A is like definitions. Yeah.
Hold on. Section A.
So these are definitions.
2A I2. So this is the section says communication of that information amongst persons related by common ownership or affiliated by corporate control.
Hey, Latrice, I think you misquoting the wrong.
Oh yeah, no. She says report containing information solely as to transactions or experience between consumer and the persons making the report. So I think people get confused on what the terms persons mean. The term person means any individual, partnership, corporation, trust, estate, cooperative, association, government or governmental subdivision or agency or other entity. So therefore, the consumer reporting agencies is considered a person. So when the consumer law girlies and baddies be like, well, a person is E.T. when he phoned home and then you don't have to pay your bills, and your light bill has already been paid for. They be skipping over the stuff before the section. Read the whole law before you be coming with it.
Yes, sir. Because in the laws they said refer back to this one, and then this one applies.
Because then they'll highlight the word person, but then when you read the definition of what person means according to the law, you're like, oh, the credit bureaus are part of this, or American Express is part of this. So no, late payments ain't illegal. And when you sign your terms of service with your credit reporting agency, with your revolving credit line or your installment line, it will specify how they're going to report.
Yeah. And you got an option. Either not take the credit.
Overstand and understand the laws, my brother.
You got to get inside the law.
Red fish, blue fish. Let me stop, man. Digital footprint. I'm having too much fun because I like it. I'm talking to y'all like you're my cousins. Let me stop playing.
Oh man.
What to do if 2 of the 3 credit bureaus continue to not remove a fraudulent account from my report, despite providing a police report and FTC report? They keep saying their creditor has verified this account. Okay, Kyle, great thing. Send that FTC report and police report directly to the original creditor. So if that American Express account, whatever your statement says that they're sending in, send it to them. And then send it to credit. Because what the credit bureaus are doing is saying, hey, you put this on Cal's report. Is this supposed to be there? They're saying, yeah, it's supposed to be there. They're not saying that Cal said he's a victim of identity theft, blah, 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 right? So I'll send it to the credit bureaus and say, I will go in here just like this. So say we're talking about this account here. I was a victim of identity theft. Please remove. I'm just going to, please remove. See attached FTC, blah, 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 right? So when I create my dispute letter, I'm going to send a paralyzing touch point. I'm going to send that FTC report to the credit bureaus. I'm going to take that same FTC report and that same police report, and I'm sending it directly to the creditor too. Hey, delete this from my credit profile, American Express. I was a victim of identity theft. And then I'm calling you. I was a victim of identity theft. I sent this to you on this date. Certified tracker said it was received. Stop playing with me. Now, if that don't work, you did everything you could. Now I'm suing you. You're going to pay me whatever the fee is or whatever the cost is for violating my rights, and stop playing with
me. Man. Hey, Dom, I got it. I got the answer to the question that we didn't ask. Some people are asking the same questions over and over.
What you mean? So they're just putting their question in multiple times?
Yeah.
I mean, they want to be heard, so they're probably thinking you're not going to see it.
You know what? Yeah, that might be
it. That's the game. We live, right? So people coming in, they're going to throw it in there. So Lou 35, freezing credit reports or secondary bureaus helps with preventing identity theft. It does not prevent with the reporting of negative information. It does not prevent the placement of negative information with entities you've already done business with. So I'll use this analogy for my children, Olivia and Kinsley, who have no business getting anything in their name credit-wise. Their credit reports are frozen. The secondary bureaus are frozen once they receive the ability to generate a score, right? So you're thinking of freezing as prevention of somebody stealing my stuff. You have to attack the secondary bureaus and the data they have within them to remove it.
Left hook.
So Good Vibe says TransUnion responded 18 days later, no response from Experian and Equifax. So wait until the 35th day before you follow up with your next course of action, because as we just saw in the laws, they have 30 days to do their investigations from when they receive your attack.
I just had to put it up here.
That's a question for y'all. If y'all in the field of doing stuff for people,
Hey,
cool.
Mike, you in a business? I ain't doing it.
Nah, we want to empower you guys because when we send off the letters and they don't respond, you guys get mad at us. But when you send it and they don't
I would
respond,
rather empower you. Yeah, you do it on your own.
yeah. So realistically, when we had our credit repair company open, a lot of people didn't understand the process. So a lot of people were doing illegal things to get stuff off in 30 days and whatever, right? So when we came to YouTube to teach, we then took the money from YouTube to sustain our lifestyle and then just become to teach you guys for free because the stuff we were saying, like when we came to YouTube, nobody was telling you what to do. They'll say, hey, follow my super secret method, but hit the link down below to sign up for my program or something like that. So why not just show y'all everything we did as a company and then let y'all go at it on your own? You know what I'm saying? But some people we do teach how to run credit repair businesses, but it depends on how proficient you are at what we're doing right now.
I have a charge-off report from Finger Hut, and it's saying the last payment was received in 2012, but it's still showing on my credit profile. 2012? That feels like it's way past 7 years plus 180 days. Hold on, let me do my math.
Like 10 years.
That's 11 years.
Yo,
Oh, hey, yo. So if your actual date of last payment was in 2012, not your in, I'm challenging that inside of Dispute Panda like this. Listen, I'm going back to my handy day American Express. Hi. This account is outside of the statute of limitations. My last payment was 2012. Delete this account immediately. Or else, you bish. It ain't supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there. Sometimes, sometimes they mess up. They don't do things, but I'm calling them out on that. It's not supposed to be there.
Man, you funny, Dominique.
They were like, huh? What should be?
Ooh, Mr. or Mrs. Mosley. This is a good one, right? So there, what you're saying is correct. So I disputed with the creditors first, and the creditors didn't add a dispute notice to the credit bureaus within a 30 days profile. From my understanding of requirements of FDCPA, this is a violation. So let's take a step back. The FDCPA is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. That will have nothing to do with that dispute status notice, right? So if you come in here in this dispute status, when you challenge with the original creditor, they are supposed to do an investigation per the FCRA, right? I believe this is FCRA section 623. So they do the same types of investigations. They must adhere to the FCRA, similar to what the credit bureaus are. Now, who puts the dispute status on your credit report? From my understanding, it will be the credit bureau. So you have to challenge with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And then after your 30-day mark or your 15-day mark, they should update your dispute status. But in order to double check to make sure the dispute status is actually a positive instead of a negative, you have to pull from like annualcreditreport.com versus a third-party credit monitoring, because sometimes it could be a lag. So before you sue off of them not actually updating the dispute status, make sure you double check it with annualcreditreport.com report to see if actually it's there as well. But you have to actually attack with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion to trigger this.
Hey, you guys who are texting free to the number, I see it going to the number, but we are here with y'all, so we technically right now. Because Dom just made us do it like spur of the moment. So now I gotta message the team. As soon as they get in the morning, we're gonna send that link straight out to you guys.
So Dawn, you said you disputed the first round with Dispute Panda and nothing happened. Not even addresses came up. Did you get a response from the bureau, or did you get no response from the bureau? And number two, I want you to think of this way. This is boxing. That was just round one. So unless you were telling me, hey, Dom, I have even if you had these guys dead to rights, like the scenario with the individual who said, I haven't paid on this account in 2012. Why is it still in my credit report? It still requires the credit bureaus to do a job. So it's either, if the credit bureaus did their job, they're going to send you something back that says updated, verified, or deleted. If they didn't do their job, you're not going to hear anything. So my question is to what response did you get from the credit bureaus after sending in your attack?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question for you guys.
Is self-grab a good start off to build credit?
Are y'all getting money? I need to start asking my people to send money.
And we got
yes,
something
it's a good app, but also go to a banking, go to a credit union, because the best place is to go to a credit union to build credibility. Because I know you probably want funding or you want something. So self is good, but a bank is better.
So like a Navy Federal pledge loan or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, self, do you have to put up the money and then they give it back to you?
Yeah.
Or they give it back after you're done.
In that case, I would get a secured card anyway. Some secured cards will allow you to keep funding the card. So by the time you get good credit, most institutions like limit match for the most part. So if you keep funding your own secured account, you can have up to however much you're willing to put in there. But self, if you put your money in and you miss a payment, they throw a late payment on you. So I would get a secured card over anything. Unless you want to be late with your own money. I don't know how you can do that.
How do you hustle snitches? Hush them up by you going to LexisNexis, CoreLogic, SageStream, Innovis, ARS. You go to those different websites and you just freeze them really quick. As you freeze them, Dom already talked about it. It's not going to stop the process, but there are things that's reported on you that you want to get removed as well. So if you have a bankruptcy or different things that's hurting your credit score, you want to knock them out as well, and then set the credit bureaus up, because they already know they're going to lie anyway. So you just set them up. So you got the investigations, and then you use that as results, as leverage to get things removed. So,
hey Dom, you want to go back in dispute Panda and show how to dispute with the secondary agencies?
Yep.
Just for you, lift it.
You always have to hit save filter in your disputing tab. It opens up your attack tab. You hit start new round, static letters, and then you have all of the secondary bureaus, aka snitches, down here.
Hush them up. Franklin, close account. Why are you removing it if it's paid off?
Yeah, what's negative about the account, Franklin? I loved you in Snowfall, by the way. What's negative about the account? Drop that in the chat, Franklin. Say, just because it's closed and paid off don't mean it needs to go.
Let me see. I had a charge up.
The reason why you didn't get removed from all three is because all three credit bureaus have separate investigation processes, right? So maybe the first one stalled you out and the second one they did their investigation process, and the third one decided to say it was verified. So you have to follow up your second round, third round based off what you got from the first round from each one.
I had a charge off. Their credit stated was charge off due to natural disaster. Now they change it to just charge off. I'm trying to get it removed.
It says pound years old, so I'm assuming pound means 3. I mean, I'm looking at the keyboard, so I'm assuming it was 3. So whether they say due to natural disaster or just charge off, the process of a charge off is the same. It only goes into charge off status after possibly either missing payments for 180 days and an original creditor just writes it off on the books. So you will attack this no different than you would challenge like the debt collection, except you're not sending a cease and desist, refusal to pay, and debt validation letters, because if it's a charge off, it's still with the original creditor. So you can factually dispute it. You can use consumer law, or you can use the automated attack engine within Dispute Panda, but you would just continue to attack this thing to just try to get it removed. He says, my Equifax isn't coming up on my list with the 3 credit bureaus, only have TransUnion experience. So 2 questions. 1, do you have any data reporting to Equifax? And 2, if you do, then just contact your credit reporting software or monitoring. And then they'll most likely have to send over some ID information to Equifax to just verify your ID to start producing the Equifax scores. So it might be like 48 hours before you see that on your report. That generally occurs when Equifax has their little bit your identity verification requirements sometimes don't go through for Equifax from time to time, and they require an additional step.
Franklin followed up.
Where's that?
I don't remember the original.
It has past bad payment history. So what was the initial question?
How do you remove a paid closed account?
Yeah.
Oh, so he paid it off and it's still there. Got it. So how many late payments are we talking about though, Franklin? And how old is this account? But either case, right? So say you want it deleted. There's 3 ways. We can go in there, and I would say my round 1, I'm always using the automated AI engine. And then round 2, I will decide if, based off what the credit bureau say or don't say, I might go into factual disputing mode. And I like to attack each late payment based off of the date, right? So say I had 7 late payments. I'm not saying, hey, look at all 7 of these late payments. I'm choosing 1 month at a time. Hey, I was not late January of 2019. Please provide evidence that I was late here. My 3rd round, I go back to the AI engine. The 4th round, if I can't get it removed, I'm saying the next late payment, I'm talking about that. So I'm varying what I'm saying, and I'm trying to catch them not investigating the process properly so I can get it deleted, or I can line them up to sue them. Gerald, you don't need to download Dispute Panda. It works in the cloud. So as long as you have a laptop or computer, you can go to use Dave's link to get access and then go to disputepanda.com to be able to log in.
Awesome. I think we answered this, but after you freeze the snitches, you want to dispute with them. What happens when I unfreeze? You don't want to unfreeze it until you get everything removed off your credit report. After you clean it up, everything on Dispute Panda is only asking to upgrade. Don't see the link to import credit.
Alberto, so when you go into Dispute Panda here and you're in your dashboard, you go to your clients tab, you go to new client, you add yourself. Then once you add yourself as a new client, you're going to be able to go to your profile tab here. And then once you go to your documents tab, you can upload everything. But if you're having issues, please send an email to info@disputepanda.com and somebody will assist you right now with getting all set up.
Student 7 teacher.
Pro is the CRM for Dispute Panda. It will not give you unlimited attacks. You only get unlimited attacks and free attacks when you use the credit monitoring link that Dave is going to send you out when you text the free number. You get an attack every 35 days for free. So say you decide to turn this into a business, you can provide the link that Dave's provides you to the clients. And then now you can charge them whatever you want to charge them. And then the attacks are free for you inside of the Dispute Panda. You only have to pay for mailing if you want to mail through the system. Rosemary, my email is info@disputepanda.com. Now, I may not answer. I will not answer. Somebody's going to answer you.
Somebody going to answer.
They're going to answer you 24/7.
You got the 24/7 support. We try to get there, y'all. We will.
So Franklin says you guys are asking the same questions. If one credit bureau removed a negative account, how do I get the other 2 to do the same? So each of the 3 credit reporting agencies have to complete their own investigation process. One does not talk to the other. It would be too much like Right if they all did that, right? So you have to follow through with the process with each individual credit bureau until they come to the proper conclusion that you want. Sarah says, I applied to those credit unions, got rejected for my charge-offs. No problem. Call them back and see if you can do a reconsideration to get approved for a lower amount. But when you are going through funding or you are trying to get revolving lines of credit, it is going to be a decision-making process that they're going to make. Ideally, if you have a low or no credit, you might have to call them up to see if you can get reconsidered.
Sure.
What if the collector not licensed collecting your state sued you and lost, but still reporting on your credit report? Then Princess Blackberry, then I would contact the debt collector and demand that they remove this off my credit report. Number 2, I will challenge it with the credit bureaus. And number 3, if it does not get resolved in 45 days, I want to contact a consumer law attorney to see what they can do for me. I believe Dave and Mike might be able to point you in the right direction, because if you sued the debt collectors and won, it most likely should have came off your report. Big CEO, yes, Dispute Panda uses Metro 2. It allows you to use factual and consumer law as well. The default attack engine is Metro 2. There is no law stating that there are too many accounts to be challenged. There's not a law within USC codes or FCRA. You can literally put 1 million accounts on one letter if you want to. Most softwares or people will say limit it because they want you to send more letters and things like that, but you do not have to if you don't want to. It's never too many. Can you tell them to delete an account permanently and immediately? Miss Link, yes, you can always specify that. That does not mean it will be done. They're still going to do their 30-day investigation. They're still going to try to verify some things. But yes, you can specify that. Lee says, does the last payment mean date from payment of deletion or last time you made payments on the time that the late payment starts? So the last time you made payments, Lee. Your very last payment. How long do bankruptcy stay on your credit report? Up to 10 years.
What's funny is they say how long you're supposed to be on your credit report, but the letters say they don't report to the credit bureaus.
Well, they don't. They technically don't send anything to the credit bureaus. The credit bureaus use
which is
they use like third parties to go find that information.
They use Pacer.
Yeah.
So I know Pacer. I know the Fair Credit Reporting Act is for like all the consumer report agencies. So all the secondary. But the main 3 is on there.
Nope, this ain't it.
Freedom Law.
I got a whole PDF for this. I just got to find it.
You got a PDF for all the statute of limitations of all 50 states?
I believe so. I got to look for it, though. I haven't found it in a while.
What about notice of election? So election letters. What about when a creditor updates the collection to a charge of? Isn't that income? So wouldn't that fall under the FDCPA, which ties to the FCRA by CRA?
Hold up. All right, what was the question?
What about notice of election letters? What about when the creditor updates a collection to a charge off? Isn't that income? So wouldn't that fall under the FDCPA, which ties to the FCRA by a CRA?
No, I've heard this many times. Like, oh, you charge it off, so I can send you a 1099, this, that, and the third. No,
that's the sovereign citizen stuff.
No.
Yeah, I'm a natural born person type thing, like that it be saying. We don't do that over here. So
when I called Experian to have old addresses deleted, I was told since collections was reported that addresses couldn't remove it. Is that true?
The customer service for Experian is trash.
Fact.
I mean, for all the credit bureaus, like you can call them and say, "Oh, I sent a dispute." They're like, "Oh, I didn't receive it. I don't know," because they technically don't know anything. But there is some validity to the fact that you have data furnishers reporting a certain address on you. That's what they're basically saying. Hey, we got this information from ABCD. If it's not true, why is ABCD sending it to us? Your response is delete all that stuff from my account. If they're giving you a alternative phone, hang up, call back another day, send in a letter, and then do the Experian backdoor. So there's like 3 or 4 ways you can kind of get this updated. But sometimes when you talk to somebody on the phone, you got to call multiple times. So when I was talking about the statute of limitations, guys, this is what I was referring to. So you have oral contracts, written contracts, promissory notes like student loans, and open-ended debts like credit cards. Most places are 3 years for credit cards, and then they can't sue you anymore. This is the state statute of limitations. The federal one is 7 years plus 180 days for accounts, and then 10 years for up to 10 years for bankruptcies. So certain states you don't want to play with, and this goes by where you were when you established a contract. So if you was in Louisiana and you opened up a car note, they can sue you in 10 years, which is crazy. I think Kentucky is 15 years. So certain states just are not debt collector friendly. Let's just put it that way. That's what I mean by statute of limitations. And it's crazy. Like Missouri, like all the southern states are like horrible. Jesus, 15 years in Ohio.
Trying to get paid. And man, just because they can't sue you, don't mean they won't put it on your credit though.
Andre, I heard about this one too, right? So like, I've seen this one from TikTok, I believe. Hey, if I have contracts from the past from creditors and they never introduced me to opt out of credit reporting and they don't have any documentation of me refusing, can I fight that? What law specifies that I need to give you the ability to opt out of credit reporting? Let's read that law. And let's read the stuff before and after the statement that you're going to tell me that I'm supposed to give you the ability to opt out. Because then as a creditor, when you signed your terms of service, your chance to opt out is not applying for my services.
It's like, hey, we about to report this. You gonna sign on this dotted line to get this $20,000 credit card?
Bing bong.
Okay. Well,
like and where does this state I need to give you after you signed up for me? I need to send you some documentation. Say, hey, you know, there's a way you can opt out of this stuff, right? Find that first.
I'm at 250 with myself right now.
Yes, sir. And if you know, the person who told you this information, tell them to come to YouTube and then see what the people gonna say about them in the process.
No, I get it. I mean, because the laws are up to interpretation, right? So like people can argue the laws however they want to argue the laws. That's all I want to do. Show me where it says in the law. Now I want to read it. We're going to read around it. And then most likely I can find where, nah, that's not the case.
Yeah, because most people will say, you know, America bankrupt and stuff like that. And I'm like, but we all agree
we in
on
debt. We in a lot of debt. I don't know about bankrupt. We still got something. We still got motion. We still got a little motion.
Hey,
we in debt though. We got motion.
Yeah, we got that human capital, man. As long as people still working, ain't nobody give up yet on the American dream. We can promise.
We're gonna keep the same energy in September when them student loans come back. We're gonna see what October, November, and December looking like. People gonna be upset. All right. So Mobile Trucker says my problem is I'm an over-the-road truck driver. It's hard to send stuff when I'm changing states to states. So when you say send stuff, are you talking about mailing stuff to the credit bureaus? If that's the case, you can do it with inside of the software. So as long as you got a laptop with you, you know, you can kind of get these things done. And then when you come back off the road, you can handle your mail and then the stuff you receive from the credit bureaus that way.
Woo.
So no, because your mortgage company has your information inside of their databases, right? So they don't monitor your credit report like, did this person delete it off their credit report? We're not going to do any business with them. No, your home equity line of credit is tied to the asset. They care about the house. They don't care about credit reporting. So if you have equity in your house and you have proof of funds, then yes, I'm going to do that deal with you. Why? You know why? Because if you default, I'll take your house. So just because you removed it off your credit report, you're going to be good to go. Number two, when you go file for your home equity line of credit, your loan officer is going to be able to pull up all that data anyway. Like it's not going to show up on your credit report, but they're going to have you fill out an application to see if you got a home. They're going to do a public record search to see if you have any deeds attached to your name. They're going to find it. Mm-hmm. And they have tools where they can pull up your credit report and everything that was deleted anyway if they wanted to. So it's no hiding.
No hiding from these streets.
What if ARS flagged all my open accounts as fraud? Is that a good opportunity to dispute or a bad sign? I mean, a fraud alert does not help you get items removed off your credit report. It still comes down to, is it inaccurate? Is it not timely? Is it unverifiable? So it's always a good time to get our credit together. My question will be, why did they flag it as fraud and what other implications does that come with? I would hate to go try to apply for something and then they're looking at ARS and saying, well, we're not going to move forward with you because you have a fraud alert on your account. So I would make sure it's not preventing anything, but it doesn't stop your disputing process, in my opinion. Yes, Travis, if you put a freeze on your account, that does not negate the reporting of negative information. A freeze stops individuals like you and me and companies from looking into your account. It doesn't stop the reporting of established accounts already. So if you freeze, I can't look into your account to lend you credit. But if we're already doing business and you froze your credit report, I can still put the negative item on there because the reporting process doesn't require me to engage you because of your freeze. What is the free number? Drop the 404 number, guys. They want y'all to drop your number in the chat.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I stopped.
407, my bad.
Y'all still coming on? Hey, I love it.
Hey, they won.
How many we got in the chat?
There was 200 people strong at 2 hours.
Hey, we got 167 people, man. Sheesh.
That's crazy. Y'all nerds. It's 10:15 at night Eastern time. And y'all here talking to 2.5 bald guys about credit. I'm calling you half bald too, Dave.
I know. Well, I got that hair, boy.
If you got 2 baldies and a full head of hair, that's 2.5. Let's keep it going. What else y'all got from me? Do you have the listing of CEO creditors?
CEO.
Oh, so the CEOs of the places. Now you have to Google that. That changes a lot, right? So I would say go to LinkedIn, Rosemary, and then type in the name of the company. Most likely you can find an executive, and then you could do it that way. You also can just Google, CEO of American Express or Vice President of American Express and do it that way. But LinkedIn is where those professionals like to hide out. That's their club.
I know you know this.
So the free attack will be credited immediately, Lewis, as soon as you do the one-click import of the credit report that Dave and Mike is going to send you.
I think this is the one he talked about.
Franklin from
I forgot the pre question. Well, I asked him. I said, well, how many late payments? He said 4 of them. What date? When was the account open, Franklin? Oh, everybody in there saying they choosing Kobe over Bron. That's crazy. I see the comments. Y'all bugging.
Gang.
MJ. Oh my God. Y'all hating on greatness. Y'all gonna respect it when that man out the league.
He gotta retire first, Dom. I think that's what
he's gonna have the greatest. Y'all think Last Dance was dope. Imagine LeBron's Netflix special. You shitting me? Franklin, now I need to know
and then when he have his 2 sons
so you can still challenge that, Franklin. I just need to know the open date of it, because either you're going to be asking for them to update it as paid as agreed, never late, or you're going to be asking them to delete it entirely, right? Depending on how old this account is. So if you say, Dom, this is a 3-year-old account, I messed up, we want that out of there. But this is a 10, 12-year-old account like Miss Rosemary had, we might want to handle this slightly differently.
LeBron James Jr. and Bryce James. So through the software, can you pay for?
You
Yeah.
can. So, dang, they keep logging me out, bro. All right. So if you go to your tax tab, right? You generate your attack. So this one where I generated my static letters, I can download them and mail them on my own, or I can just put the mail them out button, and I can send first class. I can send it in color or no color. I can send certified mail if I wanted to. You can do anything that you want from here. So it's $1 for the first page, and then it's like 11 cents for each additional page. That's how that works. So Kyle, this is a great question. Can I get a personal loan account removed that has late payments if the date open is different on TU and Equifax? Now keep in mind, Kyle, TransUnion receives a different set of data than Equifax because maybe the reporting dates are overlapped or different. So just because TU and Equifax say something different doesn't mean you're going to get a deletion. You have to address each credit bureau individually. So my question to you is the date open on the TU account actually incorrect? If you want to factually challenge the date open because it's wrong, then you can do that. And it's the same thing with Equifax. That also doesn't necessarily mean it'll be deleted. They might actually update the information based off of, oh, okay, you were correct. Here are the facts. But yes, you can challenge in that regard, but I don't want you to think because TU and Equifax have different data that guarantees you a deletion. Dwayne says, what do you do when you get no response from the credit bureau? So if you sent the letter and you sent your letter off and it got there on the 1st, and in 30 days from now, so now we're on the 1st of the next month, you didn't get a response, you will go into Dispute Panda. You will go to your disputing tab. You will select the items in which you didn't get a response for. So let's assume we didn't get a response for all 3 credit bureaus, and these are the items we attacked the last round. You hit save filter, start new round, static letters, failure to respond. So your failure to respond letter will be your round 2, and then you'll wait another 35 days to get a response to this response. Hey, Joel, what law specifies that you can get a rescission from the credit reporting agency saying you opted out from the reporting adverse action? What part of the FCRA specifies that?
Well, wait.
So Betty, if you was a victim of identity theft and you have a police report, I would send in my dispute I would go to my disputing tab. I would identify all my things that I was identity theft of that I have on there in my dispute. I will add in a custom message saying I was a victim of identity theft. Please remove blah, blah, blah. And then when I send in my attack, I'm sending this to Equifax with the FTC report and the credit report, the FTC, the identity theft report, and the police report to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Then I'm contacting each original creditor, each data furnisher. So if it's Rocket Mortgage, I'm calling Rocket Mortgage up and saying, hey, I was a victim of identity theft. I did not open this account. What are your procedures to have this deleted from your systems and the credit reporting because I was a victim of identity theft? I have a FTC report. I have a police report to send you. So I'm attacking it both ways.
All right, where we at?
I'm gonna put have fun with you down.
Well, it doesn't. Uniform Commercial Code 1308. Let's look it up.
Hey man, hey dog, you so funny.
Are we talking about this one? UCC 1-308 will protect you from the manufacturer making claims that you agreed to change in price.
That means if you, what does it say? That means if you pay the.
Okay, examples of a situation where you can use this code.
I just need to make sure I'm at the right spot. I'm assuming he says 1, then he says 308. Preference of accepting user resident. Okay, here we go. A party that with explicit reservation of rights performs or promises performance of assets, assents to performance in a manner, demand, or blah, 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 without prejudice. I need to know the section because this section 1-308 isn't going into what you were specifying.
Oh man,
Not saying you're wrong, but I got to read the law to be able to give you an answer.
Yeah, I hope y'all Google this before y'all start trying to practice.
He might have. I just need to know where he's reading so I can read it too, so I can give my answer after analyzing it.
Oh, this week said no acceptance of performance of contract under reservation.
So I'm in the right section then.
I guess we're trying to figure out what is he talking about.
He's trying to say that he didn't give the credit reporting agencies the right to report any information on his behalf. And he's saying that this section specifies his right to rescind. But the issue is the credit reporting agencies get the information from the people you decided to do business with. And then every contract or terms of service that you agree to specifies most likely the reporting of information to consumer reporting agencies or third-party affiliates. So your issue is not with the credit bureaus because they're just taking data that was sent to them. Your issue will be directly with the people you're doing business with.
No, this is another person. All right. I think the question was answered. When you sign a contract, contracts are binding when they when you look at the contract, it's gonna say us, our, and stuff like that, right? So that means the contract follows the debt pretty much. So it happens often when you go to sue the debt collectors. So if somebody has an arbitration agreement in place, if somebody sells the debt, then the arbitration agreement usually follows. That's one of the ways we use it when we sue debt collectors. But other than that, I don't see where the correlation.
I'm about to say it's talking to the right guy. Send it over to Mike and Dave. You know, if you got a suit, they'll help you out. I'm not seeing it when I read that though. All right, so Lee says Capital One took 3 different accounts, made them into one to extend the time they can keep it on my report. How do I fight that? So Lee, are we referring to, you know, let's say your credit card expired and they give you a new number, or they literally merge 3 separate accounts into one? Because ideally, this all should have separate credit reporting, Lee. Right? So if you have 3 different Capital One accounts for 3 different whatevers, they have separate statute of limitations and separate reporting. You can't just merge 2 different contracts together to extend it.
Okay.
Correct. So if you're requesting the 1099 from a charge off, you're basically saying, hey, you charge this off as a debt. That means you wrote this off to the IRS. So I demand the 1099 from you since you said it was a charge off. And sometimes people will sometimes the original creditor may acquiesce, but that wouldn't have anything to do with, that's a direct to creditor dispute, right? That has nothing to do with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So that is a tactic I heard people use when it comes to charge-offs, but in my experience, it has been hit or miss. But no, that's fine too. But Mr. Magnificent, I'm not sure how that has anything to do with the UCC one, unless this is a different question.
That was a different question. He asked that a while ago. I don't know the timestamp on that one. I remember seeing it. Oh, there you go, Don. Hold on, the follow-up.
Oh, so 3 different cards. Yeah, they can't do that. So you might have a scenario where if you're looking at your credit report, the law states they can't put the full account number on there, so it might be truncated. So I'm hoping that it's just a different card number on there. But if that's the case, Lee, they can't technically do that, right? Because you have 3 different cards, you have 3 different contracts, 3 different reporting periods, so it should not be merged at all. Lamar says eviction isn't on my credit report, but it's showing on a public record for Experian Rent Bureau, TransUnion, Smart Move, and CoreLogic Rental Solutions, and Lexus. How do I get it removed? Got it. So you will have to go to each of those solutions, and request your report and then dispute with them directly. Inside of Dispute Panda, if it was on your credit report, right, inside of Dispute Panda, you can use the static letters, but because it's not on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, it's not going to show up in your disputing tab for you to challenge it. My hope is that it doesn't make it to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It might be another 45 days or so before it gets there, and then you'll be able to use Dispute Panda to attack it. Franklin says the consumer law that supports inaccuracy item. You state that others could still be doing their own investigation. How long do I wait for others to investigate? So if we're looking at consumer law, aka the FCRA, let me go back here. So that's 1681I, procedure in case of disputed inaccuracy. When you look at section A here, it says before the end of a 30-day period beginning on the date with the agency receives the notice. So you have to wait 30. So if you mail today, let's assume it takes 7 days to get there. So 37 days from when you mailed off the letter is when you should be looking for a response. And if you don't get a response, that's when you do your follow-up, your second attack, or you do your failure to respond. Ooh, so this is a tough one, right? So it's like, you want me to give, so you said I have multiple late payments on my mortgage. Does that stop me from getting a HELOC, even if I get it off my credit report, or do I need to show at least 2 years of on-time payments? So this is going to vary depending on, you know, how much equity you have in the lender. Generally, lenders don't want to see late payments in the last 24 months or so. But since it's a HELOC and they might be able to tie it to our asset, they may be a little bit more lenient. So that question honestly will be for your loan officer.
Oh shit!
Damn, Rosemary on your top. You was talking a whole lot. You was chatty patty last week.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat, trying to moderate and stuff. You know, I'm just chilling. We got the special guest at the house. You know,
listen, if you ask them more questions, I'm cool with chilling.
Yeah, I'm just here. And to be honest, I'm learning too. So y'all keep up.
Do you think it's possible to get 11 late payments removed?
Remove the car.
It's possible. Anything is possible. Gonna be tough though, right? Because if I'm the original creditor, I have the contract. I can easily say no. You were late on these dates, so that's what you're kind of battling against. So it's a little too many late payments to do a goodwill letter. And it's a lot. It's enough to damage your score drastically, right? So yes, it's possible, but you're gonna have to keep attacking it. And late payments are some of the hardest thing to remove. I would say definitely test out the handwritten font for those though. I'm gonna leave that up for you guys.
Hello, gentlemen. Can you keep the secondary companies froze but unfreeze the Experian, Trans, or Equifax to apply for credit, or do I have to unfreeze them? So if you want to apply for credit, you got to unfreeze your credit reports because they ain't gonna be able to see it.
Yeah, just unfreeze everything. Because what if they pull from that one thing that you didn't unfreeze?
Yeah. So if you know where they pull from, then you just unfreeze that one and then freeze the other two. Let's see what's next. I am from Cleveland. LeBron is the best. He's not going to win another championship. He's just in the lead until it's time to get there.
I agree with you. I want to see the lob from Bronny to Bron. That'd be fire. Imagine that. You lob it to your son. MJ can't do nothing with that. I'm not gonna get into the MJ versus Bronny debate, but imagine your son sends you a lob. You and your son drop 20 and 20 on him. What? That's hard. That is fire. I don't care what y'all say. Right. MJ could never.
Dang.
Hey.
If you're a victim of the data breach along with T-Mobile data breach, my question to you is, were you also a victim of identity theft due to that breach? I understand they kind of handle that with issuing some checks and giving free credit monitoring, but I'm not sure how that can aid you in the deletion unless you can tie it to a identity theft. So Howard, how would you handle a bankruptcy? I think we kind of covered this a little bit earlier, but for the bankruptcy, I would treat it separately. So I'll be in here in my disputing tab. Let's assume these are bankruptcies. I have my 3 bankruptcies. I will save my filter. I would do start new round. Number 1, I would go to my static letters and I would hit up all the snitches, LexisNexis on down. I then will also do the bankruptcy court letter. And then I will challenge the bankruptcy directly with the credit bureaus using either a paralyzing touch point or a punch of fury. And then I like to use a handwritten font when it comes to that. So I like to handle bankruptcy separately versus everything else.
Hey, y'all, we catching up to y'all questions.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Account was opened on 2008 and closed in 2022. And he said it's 4 lates. I'm still challenging this and I'm doing it like I did earlier, Franklin, and I'm challenging it based off factual wise, and I'm asking for an update. Paid as agreed, never late.
I disputed online with Experian. The reason chosen. The first thing you messed up was disputing online.
Yeah, so all those stall letters telling you guys to dispute online, you get there and you get like 3 reasons, not mine, closed account, and you can't even get into any factual details.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can still ask for a deletion. So for the debt collector, I will go in there if it's under $1,000 or so, and you're outside of the statute of limitations or at the end of it, I will probably send a cease and desist refusal to pay to the debt collector. If you are well within the statute of limitations, year 1 or 2, I'll probably start with a debt validation letter, and then I will attack that collection directly with the credit bureaus. Alberto says, thanks for spending all this time answering my question. No problem, big dog. So Rosemary says, question, what can I do on a student loan from a school that was closed that I didn't get to complete? Was it one of those student loan places that allowed you to get your money back? If so, you might be able to get all your funding back from there. You got to go to like the student loan website. I believe there's like a certain time frame where, you know, these for-profit schools were closing down and people were able to get their money back. But just because the school is closed and you didn't complete doesn't mean it stops the credit reporting. Now, what might happen is when you start challenging it, if this school is closed, the credit bureaus have nobody to verify this information with. Right. So unless these records were sold to somebody else, generally this is what happens. Like a lot of these schools are owned by a bigger entity. So just because the school closed doesn't mean the books on that debt has closed. Does that make sense? Like my business can close. I can sell the debt to somebody else. So you still will attack this normally.
Oh man. But no, hold on, there's people's name listed on my public record report insurance part. There's people name.
So LexisNexis has other people's information on your report. You would challenge them directly to kind of get all that stuff removed. It's feeling like you might got some accounts in your name somewhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, call a consumer lawyer. Go on 15 USC 6. Well, go to Cornell Law, and on the right side, it's going to be like some consumer lawyers, like right there. Just call somebody in your area, or just Google it. If somebody stole your identity, you can win a lot of money. It's like 20 bands if somebody got your identity and got some stuff in your name.
The terms on the contract say they will send high information to a third party, but doesn't say they will sell the contract in the terms of that fraud.
So what happens is if companies don't they technically don't sell your contract, they just partner with a debt collector to collect on the debt. That's pretty much it. So when they write up the contract, they let you know that they will do that. And they're going to business with the debt collector. Now, if you find them in violation, then you can get the items removed from either them or the debt collector.
Howard, yes, you can. Just go to Dispute Panda, click on Save Filter, click on Attack, Static Attack, click on LexisNexis.
Boom. There it is right there, right in there in the static letters.
Sheesh.
15 USC 16(1)B. Let's go to it. I forgot what we were referring to though. Permissible purpose. Here we go. This what always comes up, baby.
E. What you said? E.
DE.
Damn, where is that? Scope, exceptions. C. I think I might have skipped it. Is it this one? Election of consumer to be excluded. Here we go. A consumer may elect to have the consumer's name and address excluded from any list provided by a consumer reporting agency under subsection C1B in connection with a credit or insurance transaction that is not initiated by a consumer. That is not initiated by a consumer. Not initiated by the consumer. So if the consumer initiates the insurance or credit transaction, you do not apply for this. You're not in the exclusion because you initiated it.
Hey man, I'm glad you're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be trying to.
Let's read it together. Let's read it together. A consumer may elect to have the consumer's name and address excluded from any list provided by a consumer reporting agency under subsection C1B in connection with a credit or insurance transaction that is not initiated by the consumer by notifying the agency in accordance with paragraph 2 that consumer does not consent to any use of a consumer's report relating to consumers in connection with the credit or insurance transaction that is not initiated. You initiated it. What are we talking about?
Go take a picture of that and send it to your other mentor.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, look. In one sitting, man, all we had to do is read and Google it. Now we understand it. Hey, look, we overstand it now, Dom.
And that's why I like about it, because it breaks down. Okay, well, who would they consider consumer? Consumer is an individual, so that'd be a person. Consumer reporting agency, any person which for monetary fees, dues, or cooperative nonprofit basis regularly engages in whole or part or practice of assembling or evaluating consumer credit information. So you can say that's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. But hold on, let me just go down here one more time. Let me go to back to E. C1B. Furnishing reports in connection with credit or insurance transactions that are not initiated by the consumer. Consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report, blah, blah, blah. The consumer authorizes the agency to provide such a report. The transaction consists of the firm offer of credit. Yeah, once you opt in for the freaking credit card, this ain't you not initiating. I don't know. That's how I'm reading it. Maybe I'm wrong. If you can provide me some case law, of somebody suing the credit bureaus based off permissible purpose, I would love to see it.
Yeah, just go on Pacer and you can look it up and see can you find it.
That's all I would tell people. Find me the case law. If you can provide me the case law saying somebody sued the credit bureaus for reporting reporting information that was sent to them by a data furnisher under permissible purpose under USC code, blah, 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 and one, I would love to see it.
Yes, sir. I know a big blue book you're talking about. Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Have a lecture bill that had charge off. I paid off the bill in 2017. On my report doesn't say that it's paid in full. It says
it's gonna be removed in August of 2023. You a hot a month and 10 days from that thing being gone, Lee. You just chill on that. I wouldn't even waste my mail.
Credit Center refused to remove my repossession from my credit report. Verify my contract. What should I do next?
Valid repossession.
Your name, but what have you done so far?
Yeah, I would say look into the repossession state laws. Did you get proper notices? Did you have gap insurance? Is all the amount owed proper there? Because a lot of times with repossessions, they do a horrible job at calculating what you truly owe.
I keep everything frozen, so I want to talk about it.
Yeah, so Fifi, what you're doing is proper, right? So you're protecting yourself until you need your credit. That's fine. So now, Anthony, if you send out your verification letter for disputed items, that acts as a second dispute. So you still have to wait your 35 days or 30 days from the date you sent it. Because remember, according to the law, the credit bureaus have 30 days to do their investigation from when they receive the attack. All right, Joe, 15 USC 1681 AD2 AI. Let's go to it.
He corrected it. Dave, can you go a little bit down further? I think he.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay. There you go.
There you go.
AD2
AI.
Reporting.
Exclusion. So these are exclusions, right? So report containing solely as transaction or as experiences between consumer and a person making the report. Exclusion, except as provided in paragraph 3, the term consumer report does not include. The consumer report does not include a report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences between consumer and the person making the report. I guess, what are you asking?
Hey, are we waiting on Joel for a little minute? Because we're gonna answer the question. We want to just make sure we understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, subject to this section, which title any report containing information.
So basically, Joe, so they define what a consumer report is with D, right? And then they said these are exclusions from the term consumer report does not include these things. So they define what a consumer report is in D, and then they say here are the exclusions to what a consumer report is and is not.
Hold on. I got a question. So are you asking a question, Joel, or are you
I guess he's trying to understand the law here.
Oh.
So what they're saying is a consumer report is not a report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences between the consumer and the person making the report. So they define what a consumer report is here. Here are exclusions of what a consumer report does not include. That's all that means.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, if I was you, I'll stop trying to understand that because most times we need to. Kobe said it the best. If you understand the fundamentals, the rest of the stuff won't confuse you. He said that he was considered the best of the game. Hey, I'll let y'all have LeBron, but he was considered the best in the game because every day he practiced the fundamentals. So when you guys are listening to other people talk and try to explain the law, just make sure you understand the fundamentals first before you try to deviate from the path, because these things can confuse you if you don't even know what a person's is. If you don't know what a corporation is. And some of these definitions are what you're going to need to get you by when people just start blurting out stuff and try to get you to buy a course and I get it, because I fell into that trap too. But how about ask yourself this question when you listening to people talk? If they got unlimited credit cards, then why do they charge you guys anything to teach? Let me say that one more time. If they can take a coupon off the bottom of their bill and send it to the electric company, and they got an unlimited credit card at the Treasury, why do they still charge people for information? Why not just teach people for free? Because if they teach you, then you can give them your money that you got for free. So just be careful when you're listening to these people on Instagram, YouTube, because it doesn't, to me, it doesn't logically make sense that everything in America is free, but you're still panhandling digitally. You know what I'm saying? digital panhandling and say, hey, give me money, I want to show you this trick. Or give me money, I want to show you this technique to get free money. Because if that's the case, then why do you need my money? My bad, Dom.
No, I need your fiat currency so you know that the earth isn't fliat. So therefore,
Oh man.
one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. So yeah, that section is to specify what a consumer report is not.
Hey man, Mr. Magnificent, man. Hey, man.
Yes, Cornelia, you have to unfreeze them once you start applying for things and getting insurances and stuff like that, because most people are going to check those bureaus. So a lot of those secondary bureaus are for like car insurance, home insurance. And if they can't check it, they're going to just raise your rates or they're going to deny you. So yeah, it's the same thing. Like if you froze Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you have to unfreeze them to get your car, to get your house, ideally. So Jerome, one late payment on an account, I'm going into Dispute Panda and I'm going into my disputing tab here. I'm going to go into my custom message. Then I'm going to call out the specific late. So say I was late one time in May of 2022. I'm going to write my message saying, please investigate this account. I was not late May of 2022. Let's determine if your procedures are accurate. Please update to paid as agreed, never late, because I don't want this account deleted. My other scenario will be if it's one late payment on a very, very old account, I'm just not going to attack it at all. I'm going to leave it alone, because after 2 years, the late payments don't impact you as much, especially if you have ones or two. My third route will be a goodwill letter, right? So if this is the most recent late payment within this last year and there's only one of them, I'm going to send a goodwill letter to see if I can get that removed. So you can send a goodwill letter by going into your tax tab, start new round, static letters, and then you will go to goodwill letter and you will fill out the information of the name of the CEO or the executive that you want to send this to.
Hey, y'all really trying to have us on here for 4 hours?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was going to tell y'all, I gotta head off. We almost at the 3 hour mark. I did 4 hours yesterday. So Princess Blackberry, when you go into Dispute Panda, you can go to your training tab. There's a video step by step for everything. So for example, not only do you have the visuals, you're also going to have a caption at the bottom if you want to, listen to, if you don't like the smooth sounds of my voice, The Quiet Storm with Dominique Brown. You can read the captions. You can read the captions. It shows you how to get access, add clients, buy credits, understanding the profile tab, how to send the text. So everything I'm showing you here, you have a video tutorial for that as well. If you are still stuck, you can send a message to info@disputepanda.com. Either they're going to send you a tutorial on how to do it with a video, or they'll walk you through how to do it as well.
All right. Hey man, look, hey, hold on. Can we agree to show up? Hold on, matter of fact, we can't show up next week.
Drop that text on there.
Next week Thursday.
Drop the text number.
We can show up next week Thursday. What are we doing next week Thursday?
Miami.
We went away. I thought I was on. Oh.
All right, y'all. So it's me and Dave's birthday coming up. So we're gonna be out of town. Hold on, I gotta check the calendar.
I'm out of town, bugging with my rounds. Wait, y'all from Miami? Y'all gotta go out of the country, man. Y'all spending a lot of money in Miami. That's another conversation.
We going to David Shannon's thing.
Oh, the podcast joint.
Yeah.
When is that? No, not Friday. No, I don't want to promote it on the live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So me and Dave's birthday is on the 24th. So we're going to Destin, Florida.
I think we should be able to go live Thursday, 27th. We'll try.
Oh, we could try to go live with Tim. Okay, so we like 2 years ago we helped this guy get a bunch of credit in his business name and his personal name. So him and his wife end up starting 2 different businesses, and they're very profitable now. So if you guys want to, we can go live with them and we can go through how we end up getting them funding and how they're using their funding to fund their business. If y'all want something like that, drop a 7 in the chat. Because hey, thank you. Yeah, fun fact, y'all. Me and Dave share the same birthday. It's crazy.
Good night.
Good night.
Credit team. You heard that, dog? We got the same birthday, bro.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That makes
weird.
it easy.
Yeah.
Y'all working on your birthday? Game don't stop, huh?
I think we might make some videos. We trying to get into the lifestyle marketing now.
Come here, baby.
Yeah, because you know.
I mean, y'all don't need it. Y'all just if y'all show up to live and keep it real, answer questions. Y'all gotta
We
do
just
that.
play, dog.
Oh no, I want to show up where they're at. I want to show up where they at and take over that game too. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that and the realness is together, you can spot the fake. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all just a podcast payola run from going crazy. That's it.
I was.
I'm speaking too candidly on here, man.
No, we definitely
y'all already got motion. Now it's just y'all just gotta get other people to see the motion. That's it.
Oh man, she sound finally speaking.
You was big quiet.
Yeah.
But no, if y'all get on, Shan stuff, that's dope because I think more people need to hear y'all and see y'all message, like, because y'all keep it real and that just brings more love to y'all channel because y'all do. Like even doing this, y'all came in and gave people game for 3 hours, so y'all didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? So y'all just gotta get on other people's platform, and then y'all just gonna keep blowing up.
Oh yeah. We was trying to figure out the traffic secrets. You know what I'm saying?
I think Ray asked a question I didn't get to. He says, "Can a company keep your account in 180-day delinquency indefinitely?" Generally, no. They're supposed to report every month, Ray. But every month you don't pay, you can keep going into late status, and then eventually it turn into a charge off, a collection, and they'll try to sue you. So just be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Hey, thank y'all for joining, man. Some of y'all been on here the whole time. Hold on, let me shout some people out real quick.
As they should. That's dope. I think we answered every single last question.
I think we did.
We answered all those questions.
That's the only thing that matters. As long as we answered nobody was left out. No child left behind.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Rosemary, but she cursed me out.
Man, Rosemary
Mr. Magnificent. I know a lot of people's on here.
Rosemary been texting our phone. I see it popping up right there at the top, right on my computer. I was like, ain't no way she's texting the same message over and over. She gotta be texting.
Here.
All right, shout out to Denisha.
So Rosemary's persistent. You gonna get them good morning kings every time from her. She was persistent, boy. Red Rising.
No child left behind. Joel, he been lit too.
Rosemary be like Grand Rising.
Leah,
Oh yeah, so y'all should expect the link tomorrow morning.
It's pretty.
Shout out to Omar who just texted. Yeah, tomorrow morning. Francis get in around 7.
Hours. I was born in May. So is my wife.
Oh yeah, y'all should get that text to get those free credits for the Dispute Panda. Shout out to Tony for shooting the message over to us too. Man, okay.
Hold on, and can y'all, if y'all not subscribed to the channel, can y'all please like, comment, and subscribe, and then share it out. I mean, if y'all got any value from this, please share it out to y'all social media so these brothers can keep getting larger, right? So if everybody share with one person, share with somebody they love, they can get some free game, get their free attacks, get their question answers too, so everybody win. You can't be the only one walking around with improved credit. So share it with your people.
Especially y'all truck drivers, if y'all can get somebody to just get inside Panda and do y'all disputes for y'all, and you can just be on the phone. I know y'all be on the phone all the time anyway, because every time I go to a rest stop, like they got the big thing on their ear. Yeah, I be seeing truck drivers at basketball games with them things. Boy, I bet that thing.
Omar said he got a question he get answered. Can y'all hold on? We don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, 80K on Facebook.
Oh, he said not mine. I'm looking for you, Omar. Hold on.
I'm scrolling up now. Oh, it's at 1050, I believe. I got LMV removed from TransUnion, but experience. We answered this question kind of several times, but bring it up. So, Omar, because the credit bureaus are 3 different entities, they are going to conduct 3 different investigations. Those investigations might be a stall letter response, it might be a verified, it might be a deleted, it might be an updated. In this instance, if you didn't get it removed from Experian, what response did you get from Experian? If you got verified, send a method of verification request. If you didn't get a response, send a failure to respond request. If you got updated, review the report to see what was updated and then follow up with another attack. So it's once again, it's boxing, right? If TransUnion, you knocked them out. Experian, they bobbed and weaved on you, hit you with a 2-piece, minked you. Now you have to follow up. You got to follow up with those guys. But to recap, my action item for y'all is simple. Share this with somebody you love and then take action. If Mike and Dave are giving you access to Dispute Panda, they're giving you a free attack. There's no reason why you can't get yourself together and get your homie or your homegirl together too. So a year from now, everybody getting houses, everybody getting cars, everybody credits improved because you took action for the team. That's all I ask. At least give me that. I've been talking to y'all for 3 hours answering all y'all questions. Please give me some action.
Right.
Sheesh. Yes. Hey, good luck, Don. Thank you for coming out, showing support. I know you was on your live screen for 4 hours and you did another 3 for us, man. Thank you so much.
I did a breakdown of Metro 2 versus consumer law versus factual disputing, and then I went into around 300 questions that people had.
What's the name of your channel?
It's the Dispute Panda channel.
Oh, hey, y'all go over to the Dispute Panda channel, show some love. Hey, y'all, if y'all got questions about Dispute Panda, go ahead over there too. How you go live often?
Once a month at a minimum. We're going to try to get that to 2 weeks. So we're getting our content team together because you go 4 hours on a live. I'm not editing that. I'm not. Ain't no way. So we tightening all that stuff up. So the goal is to go once a week, once around September, October, and then we launch the community.
Hey, my boy said jab, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, Panda roundhouse kick.
Damn, that's a Mortal Kombat type joint. That's like some jacks and that's some Street Fighter-ish. But yeah, so hey guys, when you get yourself together, grab that homegirl, that homeboy that you love, throw them there in Dispute Panda as a client, follow the link that David might get you, get them together too. If the attack's is free, there's no reason why the people that you love shouldn't be winning.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Hey, Dave, any words before we go?
Bye. I'm playing. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with the CMO of the CMO of the CMO of the CMO. All right, in the broadcast.
All right, last chance to get that number, and then we out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace, y'all.